All right, I call to order this regular scheduled meeting of the 35th Dearborn City Council for July 14th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Just a kind reminder to everyone in the room to silence your cell phones as to not disturb the meeting. Mr. Clerk, can we have the roll?
Councilmember O'Reilly.
Here.
Councilmember Enos.
Here.
Councilmember Paris.
Here.
Councilmember Abraham.
Here.
Councilmember Hammoud.
Here.
Councilmember El Sawafi.
Here.
Council President Sereni.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Very good. All right, at this time, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Councilman Mustafa Hammoud. Councilman Hammoud.
Thank you. It's my honor to introduce Reverend Rachel Kane of Good Shepherd United Methodist Church, who will deliver tonight's invocation. I invite all who are able to please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Oh God, we come before you with gratitude. We thank you for your steadfast presence. We thank you for making each of us in this room, every person we meet, every citizen of this city and every city in your own image with dignity and infinite worth. We thank you for the calling you have given every one of us to be good stewards of your creation, to love our neighbors as ourselves. I thank you tonight, God, for these your servants, our mayor, our city manager, our city staff, and our city council members. I give thanks for the way of service they have chosen to take upon behalf of all of us here. We all come to this room tonight as complex human beings, carrying burdens, joys, and hopes. Let us trust that you will hold us together, O God, in your love and peace. May we lean on your abundance and grace, and so we pray that your wisdom guides the hearts and minds of our leaders tonight. We pray that we have the eyes to see our interconnectedness and how the common good is upheld when we listen and respond to those most vulnerable among us. May your truth be revealed. May your light shine brighter. May the voices of all be heard and held with equal weight and importance. We pray for strength, for courage to do what is right and good for all citizens. May we put the interests of others above our own. May we act with love and be good neighbors, recognizing your image in every person here. We thank you again for this council, our mayor, our city staff, our first responders, and all those who work to make their neighborhood, this city, this state, this nation, and our world a better place. May their efforts be fruitful, and may our work here tonight be blessed to the good of all. In your holy name, amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Reverend. Mr. Clerk, can I have the first item of business?
Item number 4, resolution by Council President Sereni, supported by Councilmember Enos, acknowledging Gary Tanner, founder of the Michigan Wounded and Returning Warrior Program, and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The 35th Dearborn City Council wishes to recognize Mr. Gary Tanner, the founder and chairman of the Michigan Wounded and Returning Warrior Program, for his dedication to serving Michigan veterans and military families. Founded in 2010, the program provides temporary financial assistance to Michigan veterans, active duty, military, reserve, and National Guard service members facing emergency needs. The program also offers retreats for veterans, service members, and family members as well following deployment. That provides grants to mental health professionals who conduct workshops focused on the needs of veterans and the military personnel. In November of 2025, Mr. Tanner received a National Guard Volunteer Award from the American Legion Department for his leadership and service through this program that he developed. He is also recognized by the Michigan National Guard Family Programs Community Purple Award, as well with honors organizations and individuals that exemplify the program's core values of supporting Army and Air National Guard families and enhancing the quality of life for military families and communities in which they live. This is also requested immediate effect. So Mr. Tanner is a local gentleman in the community and part of our community. To be recognized nationally for this, we thought it was well deserved that you be recognized by your hometown and by your city council. So we'd like to thank you for your service. What we're going to do is have the council come down to present you, Mr. Tanner, if you'd like to come forward with your citation. We're going to have the council come down first, and this is with any objection to unanimous roll to be attached with immediate effect. All right, unanimous roll should be attached, and then we'll have Mr. Tanner come up. Mr. Tanner, if you just like to, take any microphone, but just a couple words from you. I think it's
Do you want me to
an honor.
address you?
Yeah.
Face you?
No, always address the council.
Okay. First and foremost, Mr. President, I'd like to thank the council, the mayor, the city for this esteemed award. It means a lot coming from my own hometown. As you mentioned, the award from the National Guard Washington, D.C. Bureau last year was quite a surprise. But the biggest surprise, as you mentioned, since that award was created in 2011, I'm the very first recipient ever in the state of Michigan to receive that award, which was the breathtaking part that really caught me off guard. I've been recognized in other forums, but to have that kind of recognition really meant the world that we're doing the right things for the right reasons at the right time to help our military families, our veterans, first responders, and all those that need the help. And it was such an honor having your brother here this year as our Grand Marshal for the parade and getting to know him better. It was so wonderful to see your mother. Haven't seen her in years, and to see her there was the biggest treat.
She came out for her favorite son.
Yeah, there you go, there you go.
He never comes
But yeah, this program means the world. It's a lot of work. I don't get paid for anything that I do. 100% of our donations are passed through. Nothing is taken out of them. In the last 4 years alone, we've distributed over $600,000 in financial assistance here in the state of Michigan to our families, and continue to do so each year as we're able to. So it's an honor and a privilege. It's about 2,000 hours at least of volunteer time each year to do what I do. It's a second job, but I just don't get paid for it. But it's also my passion. I tried re-enlisting after 9/11. They told me I warranted a sticker that I was too old and couldn't be useful anymore. As I raised the age limit, I still went back several times. They said, thank you, we appreciate it, but here's another sticker. So this, since I can't be there shoulder to shoulder with my brothers and sisters, this is how I can still serve my country.
That's right.
And take care of them, keep them mission focused and safe when they're away, and keep their families taken care of, and then help them when they return. So it's a lot more than just a program or an organization. It's my passion to my fellow brothers and sisters. So thank you very much again.
Thank you.
For all of your recognition through the years and all of your support through the years for this program to make it what it is. Thank you.
Without question, Mr. Tanner, we have a couple comments, but I do want to tell you, of course, as you indicated, the passion is something else. And what's always made you feel better, I'm sure, is once you get the recognition and it's actually getting to the people and actually making an impact.
Yes.
Which is well worth more than any salary can put on.
Oh, absolutely. The biggest recognition and most important recognition I get are the tears on the phone.
Without question.
When we can tell them that after everyone else said no, we say yes.
Yeah.
And are able to provide that assistance that keeps their family from going into worse situations. That's the biggest award I get.
For sure.
And what keeps me getting up every day.
For sure. Well, we appreciate what you do and can't thank you enough. And the least we could do is recognize you.
We appreciate your support all year long.
Of course. Councilman Al-Swafi.
Thank you, Council President. I just wanted to say, when I heard of the national recognition that you got, Mr. Tanner, I was not surprised at all, because I witnessed firsthand, day in and day out, your selfless service to the community and to the brothers and sisters in uniform. So I appreciate you very much, and thank you for your continued service. You certainly have not expired in any way to the service of this country, and I appreciate it very much.
I appreciate that, and thank you for your service as well.
It's my honor, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, we really appreciate all you do. So,
Councilman Paris.
Thank you, Council President. The awards that I want to say is thank you to your family, your sons, Agnes, your wife.
They make it all possible.
Absolutely. But, a lot of people may not realize all the years that you had supporting scouts.
Yes.
There's a lot that you have done in the community, let alone, being named commander not too many years ago now,
Sure.
For the Dearborn Allied War Veterans Council.
Yes.
You've contributed so much to this community, and to have this coming forward and so on for further recognition of your deeds and things that you're dedicated to, it's very meaningful. I can't just come out and call you Gary. It's still Commander.
can.
Commander,
Yes, you
how you
can.
doing? So,
No,
thank you very
you
much
all
for
can call
everything.
me Gary, and you can call me at any hour of the day or night.
And thank you, Phil, for being here,
Yeah.
for everything. Oh, there you go.
All right.
So,
Thank you, Mr. Tanner.
Thank you. Thank
All
you,
right.
everyone.
Ms. Clerk, you do have unanimous roll
Yes.
attached. Okay, next item.
Item number 5, resolution by Council President Sereni, supported unanimously, offering condolences to the family of James R. Woodyard and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We are deeply saddened by the passing of James Robert Woodyard, born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on July 18, 1936, and passed away on June 16th of this year at the age of 89, leaving a void in the lives of so many people who cherished him. Jim shared an extraordinary 66-year marriage with his beloved wife, Emma Jean, a testament to a life of love, devotion, and a steadfast commitment to family. He was a dedicated father of 2 sons and a daughter. Jim also leaves behind 1 brother and his wife. He was a proud grandfather of 4 grandchildren. In addition to his immediate family, he will be missed by his nieces, nephews, and dear friends. He served as a pillar of strength, comfort, and stability for those who knew him best. Through his quiet strength, humility, and wisdom, Jim led by example, leaving a lasting impression on lives of his family and countless others. For 4 decades, Jim dedicated his professional life to educating and inspiring future generations as a tenured professor in the Department of Computer and Electrical Engineering at the University of Wayne State. A respected scholar and educator, he took great pride in mentoring his students both in the classrooms and in research laboratory, helping shape the careers of countless engineers and inventors. Outside of academic career, Jim found great joy in the simple pleasures of life. He had a long life passion of biking, sailing, pursuits that reflected his adventurous spirits and appreciation for the outdoors. Jim Woodward's legacy lives on through the family he cherished, the students that he mentored, and the many lives that he touched with kindness, integrity, and quiet leadership. We extend our deepest condolences to his wife, family, and friends. May they find comfort in the remarkable life that he lived and the enduring example he leaves behind and the countless memories that they have shared. May he rest in eternal peace. And the unanimous roll shall be attached. Mr. Clerk, next item.
Next item is our public comments section.
All right, thank you. Mr. Clerk, we will mark the time at 7:21 for our public comment. The council rules were enacted to allow 30 minutes of public comment prior to our business items to better serve our residents and to be heard. There is a 30-minute time limit for this session. Each person will be given 3 minutes and will be reminded when there's 30 seconds left by our clerk to let them know where they're at. We ask for a kind reminder that if there is comment cards on either side for you to fill out, we will go by these and the number that they were presented. Keep in mind, if you're here to speak on an item that is before the council, we recommend that you wait for that item that come before. This way that you can be addressed with the item for the voting. So first we have our Deputy Wayne County Executive, Asad Turfi. Mr. Turfi, thank you for being here today. If you'd like to step forward.
Yeah, thank you, Council President. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you to the entire council body for giving us this opportunity. I am not here to tell anybody how to vote. I am here to inform the public and help educate on what you're going to see in the August 4th primary this year. Currently, the city of Dearborn has opted into the current transit system that serves the residents of Wayne County. 26 communities participate in that current system. Wayne County has 43 communities, so we have 70 communities that just do not participate in that current millage that you are in right now. That millage is sunsetting at the end of this year. It's going to expire. It's no longer going to be around. And that millage is being replaced with the new millage. The new millage is going to ensure that all 43 communities are in the system. We're either going to be all in or we're going to be all out. The millage rate is going to be consistent with what you guys have historically been paying in the city of Dearborn, 0.983 mils, which comes out to, it's less than 1 mil. It comes out to about $8 a month for the average home value in Wayne County. The average home value in Wayne County is about $200,000. So if it's a little more, a little less, you have to move those numbers around, but we're looking at $8 a month. I grew up just a couple miles up the road from here on the east end of Dearborn, and my parents still live in that same house that we grew up in. My family did not own an automobile. We did not have a vehicle in the household, which meant our opportunities only existed for the 3-mile radius that our feet took us to. The one thing that I've learned more than anything about public transportation is that it's the infrastructure for our workforce development. The city of Dearborn has a lot of good things happening within the city. You guys are not just a bedroom community, you're also a business community. You're a pass-through community. The current SMART system operates several routes that are flowing through the city to get to other places. Currently, right now, if you have residents that need to get to Canton Township, going right down Michigan Avenue, you can't even walk out these doors and hit Michigan Avenue and go straight down to Canton. You could go east, you can't go west. And the reality of it is we're trying to connect our entire county. And the goal is, once we are all in as a county, Macomb County's all in, Oakland County's all in, which means now as a region, we're going to be much more competitive. We have some materials some educational materials that we would leave in the back. We have a representative here from SMART, Jordan. Jordan is the individual that runs the planning of all the routes in Wayne County. So if anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to take any questions, but hopefully I stayed within my 3-minute time frame.
Oh, no, thank you, Deputy Executive. We do appreciate the information. There's a lot of initiatives that the residents are not too sure of what's going on with them, so we do appreciate the information so that they can make an informed decision.
Yep, and one final word, the one thing that I've learned more than anything is that transportation is a lifeline for our senior citizens, our people with disabilities and special needs, so it's a lifeline. Thank you.
Yep, thank you so much. All right, next we have Ms. Andrea Unger.
Andrea Unger, Reuter Street, Dearborn. Thank you, Mayor Hammoud and Council, for allowing me to speak. Thank you to Chief Shaheen and the Police Department for the radar and the policing on Ford Road, which is helping to combat the reckless driving. And also thank you to Chief Shaheen and the Police Department for extending and enforcing the curfew for minors over the 4th of July weekend. Thank you to the DPW for getting out quickly and efficiently to clean up the trees and branches after the first of 3 storms this last month and a half. After the 3rd storm on July 3rd, however, many parks like Hemlock and streets like Schaefer and Reuter still have branches that have not been picked up yet. Thank you to Mayor Hammoud for the neighborhood cleanup walks that you do. The Bible tells us to do to others what you would have them do to you. So I chose to take up the mayor's mantle in my neighborhood, and many would say NIMBY, not in my backyard, when they see all the trash at the Laurie School track in my neighborhood that covers an entire city block. I could choose to ignore or complain about it, but as I walked the track Monday, I took a large trash bag and filled it with over 80 recyclable cans and water bottles. Today I took another large trash bag while walking the track and picked up a full bag of trash. Every citizen can help make Dearborn great. Now, about the Dearborn calendar, I have a question. Why, and someone on the council may know, why does it say public schools closed on Tuesday, May 26th through Thursday, May 28th after Memorial Day? Does anyone know why that happened this year?
Yeah, the council, I'm not sure as far as that aspect, administration aspect, we can get with our communication. I think communication does that, and we can find out for you. So you want to know why
It might be a question best fit for the
Mayor,
schools.
you have an answer?
It might be a question for the schools.
Yeah.
Okay, it was on the Dearborn calendar, but it didn't say why. It just said Dearborn schools
Oh, I
closed.
apologize. So I thought it was, so it's not a mistake. The schools are closed. You just want to know why the schools are
So
closed.
Memorial Day, there was no school, and then the 3 days Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there was no school.
Yeah, thank you,
might
Mayor.
wanna reach
Yeah,
out to
that
the
would-
school board.
Yeah, the school board is best suited to answer that. We
Okay,
have
you
no
don't
control.
know why?
No, we don't
Okay.
control their calendar, or they don't share with us, like, the reasons why they have, they have
That was
depression.
unusual, because that's like 4 days off. Yeah, that was crazy, but I will check with the schools. Thank you.
Yes, excellent.
Finally, our lawyer has been requesting FOIA department documents from the city of Dearborn and the Dearborn Police regarding the violations and the response to those violations of the noise ordinance. Since March 7th, 7 more noise complaints have been registered for the mosque at 6345 Schaefer. In addition to those violations, when celebrating Eid al-Adha, May 26th through 28th this year, the fireworks on our street, on Reuter Street, right outside our house, were so loud, our house shook from 8 to 11 p.m. And when our neighbors called the police, their response was, well, we're getting a lot of calls, but there was no apparent action taken.
You have 30 seconds.
Is this now the standard in Dearborn for all the holidays? We're just shooting off fireworks in the neighborhood? I mean, I hope you give me something more of an answer besides thank you, like you did the lady last month. Is there an answer to why that was going on?
I can't give you the answer, but I can tell you that the police, the state of Michigan changed the laws many years back, I don't know how many years now, where they allow fireworks on those times. So the fireworks are allowed. It's not something that.
For any day?
No,
Not just the
there's three-
4th of July? Any
Yes.
day?
No. You want me to answer, or you want?
Right, right. I didn't understand what you were saying.
What I'm saying is that the state of Michigan changed statutory law that allows that fireworks can be purchased and used the day before the 4th of July, the day of, and the day after. So that's what has happened. It's been, I don't know how many years, but it's been a few years now, and we have done everything we can to make sure that we enforce the ordinances and be there, but we cannot be everywhere someone, lights off a firework, so that's where the concern is.
This
So-
wasn't July, this wasn't June, this was May 26th through 28th.
Oh, yeah, if it was done not during those 3 days, they're not legal, so I don't know what was the reason that they did do them.
I don't know, there was a holiday or something?
I have no idea, but I can tell you that fireworks are not legal on other than those 3 days. That's my understanding, so. Then
But-
you called the police and they said they're getting
And
a
they
lot of
said,
calls?
yeah, we've been getting a lot of calls, but
Yeah, I unfortunately,
there was
I
no
don't have an
holiday
answer.
or anything that they were shooting off fireworks?
I don't know what holiday it is, ma'am, so I don't know.
Okay, I guess we'll have to find out.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next we have is Mohammed Al-Zayod. Mohammed Al-Zayod. Okay, so the agenda item, yes. It is on, yeah, so we'd like you, yes, so just so you know, you're absolutely right. It is an agenda item, but it's in the consent agenda item. So I'd like you to speak now, if you don't mind, yeah. And then we'll extend the 30 minutes because this is actually an agenda item, but it's part of the consent. So if you'd like to step forward, sir. And just kind of reminder, your name and address for the record. This is him.
Hamid El Ziyadi, 23259 Lawrence Street, 48128. I want to speak to the Honorable Council and the Mayor and the Administration regarding the Arba'een March for Peace that happens every year. So I want to actually speak about the essence of the march and then talk about maybe some ways that we can kind of resolve some of the issues or some of the communications moving forward. After more than 20 years, I think by default, this administration or previous administration, the city of Dearborn, along with the city council, have essentially become the stewards of this march. And like for one day every year, Dearborn essentially becomes a manifestation of something that 200 million people hold dear. This Arba'een March, as you can see, a lot of these people have never been to a city council before. This is something that they hold extremely close to their hearts. There are people who fly out all throughout the country, from Canada, I've even heard people from Mexico come out, right? They come, they sit in our hotels, they live with their friends and family, they experience Dearborn, they experience this occasion that for most people they would have to travel to the Middle East to really experience. But so many people, and this, for those who don't know, Kerbala is what Dearborn is attempting to emulate through this, this procession. So when the community hears, like rumors or misconstrued ideas of what's actually happening, like the facts get lost. And I think that is the issue that the council and administration, they would love to essentially deal with, nip it in the bud. And I know for sure, like just looking at the community here, a lot of people also feel that sentiment. So what I would love is that, like moving forward, that you guys, our community, the organizers of this procession, essentially get on the same page, have some town halls. Like a lot of these ideas aren't revolutionary. Town halls, Q&As, meet and greets, with this procession essentially being the topic of interest, right? A lot of our community too, like we heard this thing about, oils, no food, no cooking. There's a lot of confusion, and thankfully, Abdullah and his administration worked overtime.
But you have to address him as the mayor.
Sorry, I completely
You
apologize.
have 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
The mayor and his administration, along with some members of the city council, Councilman Kamal Sawafi, they opened the dialogue, they allowed us to discuss and have these grievances, but these need to be more formal moving forward, so that way we can help meet the city's needs to ensure that this is an event that fulfills the expectations of the attendees and fulfills the expectations of the city, to provide a safe and comfortable environment for all those who attend and all those who protect and serve it.
I'm sorry your time has expired. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yeah, sir, the Councilman Hamud would like to ask you a question. If you'd like to step back up.
Yeah. So just on misconstruing things and whatever, I mean, you understand that when it's on consent agenda, that means we discussed it already on Thursday and there was no opposition to you guys holding our march. You understand that?
No, yeah, I understand that completely.
Oh, okay. All right, just making sure.
So would you like me to explain the purpose of people attending?
Sure.
I'll do it. I'll do
Yeah.
it. This is
Yeah,
very open
I don't
up.
think it's that.
I'm confused.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
it's
know,
nothing-
I know you're
yeah.
confused. Here's the thing. We want to make sure we get this going along. I think what your concern is there's some subtleties or changes that you believe should be able to be practiced or done during this march. So that was something you got to take up with the Recreation Department, and I guess the mayor is working with you guys through that.
Yeah, we're working on it.
But the event is approved, but the only thing I just want to make sure is clear for the residents and everyone else as far as when you indicate, stewardship and so on and so forth. The government allows everyone to protest. So we do not, when you say, I just want to make sure that's clear, we can't associate or make it that it's the city doing it. It's a private entity that's doing this. So the city has to follow the same rules for everyone. So if that means that, you can't use certain cooking materials or something that's not allowed, then that's the process. But I know you're working through those. But because of what you indicated about the 20 years and longevity, nobody has an issue. And I'm sure someone will cut this video up and make it look different than what it is. But the reality, I know. But that's what happens when you take a job that you have to stand up and you can sleep at night when you do what's right. And what I'm doing here today is want to make sure it's abundantly clear to the residents of the city of Dearborn that everyone is able to do any procession or march that they want. That's why we live in the country that we live in. But it is not sanctioned or authorized, or the city is the one that is doing it. It can't be, because we're a government and we're not supposed to be religiously involved in any of the aspects. It's done by the people, and that's their right. But hopefully whatever situations or little formalities regarding what is going to happen during the march gets resolved. Like you said, it's been happening for many years, and we haven't had a tremendous amount of complaints other than really close to the Ford Woods, right? Yeah, which I'd like to make sure that maybe you could pass on, Mohammed, if you don't mind me using your first name. I don't want to pronounce Al-Ziyadi. Because as you know, I'm the same faith as you. Our religion and this procession does not allow you to block fire hydrants so you could go to do the march, or block people's driveways, right? I'm not saying you are, but those are the complaints that had happened in the past, where we cannot, when you're doing something that's great and good, then you also have to act, you also have to perform and follow the rules, which the rules are the rules of the land. And that's what we have to follow. So, and I know that you know that, but hopefully you can let that know to everyone else too, because there was some concerns a few years back where driveways were blocked and people couldn't get out of their homes and stuff, and we don't want that. I'm sure you don't want that, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's the only concerns we had in the past, but we believe those have been resolved, but hopefully you could share that along with the group so that they understand
Right.
that we do the best we can.
Yeah, like my whole point, and I think the majority of this community's point, is to preserve this tradition,
Yeah.
and I think that happens best when we partner with the city to be able to address and, accommodate you guys
Yep.
for your compliance needs, and also hear us out. Why do we do certain things? Why do we not do certain things? And so on and so forth. And I believe moving forward as a body of problem solvers that the solution is communication,
Yeah.
being creative, and addressing issues head-on and not completely removing certain aspects of the procession.
Without question, and the fact that you came here and those that did come and support as well, you're absolutely right. This is what the community is about. We are thankful that you did that so that we don't have to address it at the end. You're absolutely right, and hopefully I know our rec department deputy.
I'll just
Golich-
comment it real quick.
Yeah, Mayor, go
I
ahead.
think the biggest point to your point, Mohammed, is that a stronger communication. I think for us, we've been communicating with the person who submits for the approval, thinking that that was the ultimate organizer, but I think they're short-staffed. And so I think we're going to walk away, inshallah, and creating a committee so that we can visit this thing early on, months in advance, and plan it all out and just proceed as we have historically. And so I think that's a strong takeaway from the conversations that we've had. And after this meeting, I think we'll have more conversations.
Yeah, and I do appreciate the administration. I did speak to John, the deputy director, and a lot of these issues thankfully were resolved offline. And I think that the rest of the comments you will hear regarding this procession is to just show that this community doesn't take this event lightly, and hopefully more communication collaboration moving forward.
Without question, thank you. Councilman El-Sawaf.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to take a moment to thank Mohammed and everybody else that came here to really work on coming up with a solution on how best we can move forward so that we're not in the way of any other residents and we're performing, and this is performed in a safe manner. So I just want to thank you to everybody that showed up here and really participating in our democracy. Thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you. Mr. Joseph Barajo.
Joseph Rajo, Dearborn, Michigan, and thank you for the opportunity. I want to begin by thanking the city administration for creating and displaying the Wall of Tears at the East Dearborn Park, Peace Park. On those walls are pictures of Palestinian children who were killed in Gaza. And the way they were killed, deliberately and systematically, one of which ways they were killed was the acceptable point of starvation being an acceptable tool of war. This is disgusting. We have a genocide taking place, and it continues to take place in Gaza. And the world should take a stand, a strong stand against it. Now I want to address a really neat part of what's going on in Dearborn right now. At the Dearborn Greenfield Village, on display is the actual manuscripts of the Articles of Confederation, the Bill of Rights, and the U.S. Constitution. And it's particularly pleasing to me because I carry my Constitution with me constantly. And especially in light of the situation now that we have, that there's an effort to really attack a number of those amendments in the Constitution. One, notably just recently, is to eliminate the birthright status of Americans, the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. And acting out of its typical characteristic, the Supreme Court actually knocked it down. But there's another amendment of the Constitution. It's the First Amendment, freedom of religion. That means all religions, and that means Islam, which is under attack by Islamophobes in this country and should be rebuked in the strongest measures possible. And I would like to say, it was a wise decision, and I'm sure it was a bipartisan decision, too, of the people that created the 25th Amendment of the Constitution that calls for the removal of the president when that president no longer functions responsibly in terms of the interest of the country and the American people. I suggest we activate that constitutional amendment right there, right now. And we have a primary election coming up. Very important because there's been efforts to block the effort of Americans to exercise their right to vote, notably by absentee ballot and trying to destroy that opportunity that is a right of every American citizen. So I would suggest we come out and vote strongly in that election. And we
You
vote
have
for
30
people that
seconds,
represent the interest of the American people. And don't vote for people that are detractors that want to destroy the principles of this country it was founded on. Come out and vote August 4th and vote strongly for your right to vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Christian Richards.
Yes.
Just,
My name is Kristen Richards. I live on Princeton in a very modest blue-collar bungalow that my sisters and I inherited from my mother when she passed. I'm here because I got first time in front of the city council, and I appreciate you all being here, and I'm a little nervous, but I got a notice of violation for my flowers in my front yard. And I'm upset about it. I'm upset about the demeanor of the person that gave me the violation. I'm also upset about some of the things which maybe I can be educated here more, that he mentioned. The house was built in 1951. My father had bricks that long story very short, he built something with. I kept those bricks and stacked them up. There's 12 bricks that I stacked up against the back door fence, against the fence dividing the front and backyard. He said I had to move those. He said he didn't like the way my wood was, I have a little fire pit. It's not a pit, but it's a metal fire thing that you barbecue on or get warm with in the fall. And so I have wood that stacked up on cement on top of bricks with a tarp over it. He said he didn't like the way the wood was stacked. He also took pictures of my garden. I'm always out in the yard gardening. It's very eclectic, my garden. It's not manicured or landscaped, and I love it. But he took pictures of my gardening tools, which are like 10-inch long little rakes and shovels, and gardening gloves that I have on my front porch. And he didn't like those. But he did educate me to the 18 inches off the sidewalk and 3 feet off each driveway. I understand that. I also, the flowers in the spring, in May, I have hundreds of iris in the front yard. People stop and take pictures.
You have
and it
30
makes me very
seconds.
happy. 30 seconds?
Yes.
Oh. Anyway, he said, he gave me a Thursday 5 o'clock deadline. By Friday morning, he said if it's not finished, I had to take everything off the apron. I have yellow lilies. I have about 100 yellow lilies in the front apron. I have to dig all those up. And so what can I do? I would like to extend the deadline. I would like to if I have to take them down, I would like to take them down
Your time has
in the fall.
expired.
okay, ma'am, thank you for coming. Let me
Sure.
give you some direction. We
Yeah.
appreciate you being a resident and coming here. I know it's sometimes challenging, but a couple of things, just so you know. And the director is back there, Mr. Torty. He's going to raise his hand. So we'll have you talk to him after.
Okay.
So the notice of violation, obviously you haven't gotten any one of these before, and all it does is letting you know that there's a concern that has to be remedied. But I think the director will speak better for you, but I don't believe you have to take out plants. I think the concern is, and just so you know, tarps and wood are the #1 driver for rat infestation and causes animal harborage. So
Okay.
those are really looked at with our city inspectors.
Okay.
And you've been in the city a while. I mean, there was a time where the city's position was there was no rat problem. And under the leadership of Mayor Hammoud and the 34th Council of City, we have been very aggressive regarding that, and I hope that many of the residents do agree, have seen that we have really controlled the situation with much mitigation regarding rodents and pre-treating our drains and so on and so forth to make sure that we eliminate this problem. So again, I apologize if you felt the way it was brought across for you, but I want you to understand that the people out in the field are specifically looking for wood aspects and tarps because they are the #1 driver regarding that. But as far as the color of the lilies or when you want to take them out, I don't think that's the concern. And I don't want to speak, but the director's shaking his head that he agrees. I mean, so I don't think you have to worry about that. But if you like, the director can walk you right to the hallway. You could speak with him, and he can look into it for you. And thank you for coming forward.
Okay, but he told me that the apron of the yard has to be sod or grass. I have to take everything up by Thursday at 5.
Okay, well, the director will respond back to council regarding that, because I know that the apron does
And Jordan
have some
can work with
limitation.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, but he'll work with you on that. Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
Absolutely, Mayor, thank you. But just for the director, if you could just get us back that side of the code, because they are supposed to be side of the code. So we'll find out regarding the apron.
Okay.
What's
Thank
the
you so
rationale. But
much.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next we have Ms. Santos. Yes.
Thank you, Council. Thank you, Mayor, for letting me speak. I am not a resident of the city of Dearborn. I live in Allen Park. However, I'm bringing a problem to the light of the council, that there are issues at O'Reilly Manor with management there. I did not want to take it any further and thought that maybe there could be looked into here. One of the main problems is my ex-husband lives there, and we have maintained a relationship. We're friendly. I don't live there, however. In December, January, he got a violation that I stayed with him for 32 days. I live in the city of Allen Park, right across the street from Dearborn. He refused to address it because he's not a wave maker. I'm a Marine, and we don't let things go by, so I kept my mouth shut all this time. However, on July 6th, he got 6 violations stapled together, fanned outside his door from management there. 3 of the violations said that someone saw him passing me a key. I don't need a key to his house. If I wanted to be married to him, he'd be living with me in my house. I wouldn't be in Dearborn. However, then on Friday, he was called into the office by management and said that I had stayed over there more than 7 days. I have no reason to go there. I am an advocate for several seniors in the building. I'm a patient advocate. So I do spend time in the building. Most of the time, I'm not with him. So my concern is he's not addressing the issue. He doesn't know that I'm at this meeting. He's helping with bingo over there. And so he's very angry when I told him I was going to come to the meeting. He's afraid of being evicted. The management there, when she called him into the office on Friday, told him that, that I had been there for more than 7 days and that there were a lot of people on the waiting list and that he would be evicted. And he said, I don't know what you're talking about. She hasn't been here. He got accused in the 6 violations of handing me his key. 3 of them were hearsay. 1 of them was not his key. I did go in and out of the building. 3 of the violations were 5 minutes apart. So in a 15-minute span, I went in and out of the building bringing things to people that I do pro bono work. I do not get paid for this. So I brought stuff into the building for them. Did I have a key? It was another resident's key.
You have 30 seconds.
Okay. He was told that he would be evicted based on this. I think that the efforts would be better looked at. The rent has gone up $100 a person. So that's a $20,000 increase for the city of Dearborn, $240,000 annually. Instead of the tattletales and this manager that obviously doesn't like me for whatever reason, they should be looking at the seniors and what can they do for the seniors instead of trying to harass people. You have people, they're being censored. I've seen some of the liaisons standing outside people's door listening to their conversations.
I'm
So
sorry,
you've
your
got a
time has
problem.
expired.
All right,
Yeah.
Ms. Santos, thank you for
Yes.
your stepping forward and bringing this
Yeah.
information. We do have Deputy Director Golich. She will, can see you outside. It's going to be a sensitive issue because you're not the leasee of the agreement.
Absolutely.
And the council cannot speak on that.
Absolutely.
So I know you understand, and thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
But maybe she could just have a conversation and see what's going on. But,
And as I said,
okay?
my husband, he's at bingo, he's going to
Or
be
is
very
your
angry.
ex-husband, or is your husband?
My ex-husband,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, definitely my ex-husband.
All right.
And he's going to be very angry when he finds out
All
that
right.
I came here.
Well,
So,
hopefully he
thank
wins
you
the
so
bingo.
much.
Hopefully he wins the bingo.
Well, I don't care about
All right, all right. Have a good night. Thank you, ma'am.
Council President, we're at the 30-minute mark.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to, Councilman Al-Sawafi's offered the motion, supported by Councilman Enos, to extend, you good? Yeah. To extend the time. I'd like to get through these cards so that the residents don't have to wait for the end. Some of them are similar and maybe be better. Any objection from my colleagues from unanimous roll to suspend the rules and extend the time? Hearing no objection, the unanimous roll shall be attached. We have Ms. Christine Simone. Still having to wait all the time, but there's a lot.
Thank you for having me, Mayor. I'm a resident of Fort Dearborn Manor and have been in the state of Michigan for 12 years. The state of Michigan has a goal to cut food waste in half, about 1 billion pounds per year, by 2030 as a key climate and economic strategy. Organization Make Food Not Waste is spearheading this effort, focusing on Southeast Michigan and more Michiganders live, and therefore the most food waste occurs. The cities of Dearborn and Farmington Hills, two of the most populous communities in Southeast Michigan, have both engaged in a planning effort to determine strategies and a plan how to ensure ensure no food goes to the landfill from any sector in the community. We encourage all residents to reach out to their city council representatives and to ask the city to take action on this issue with the following topics and top actions. Provide residents with services to divert food waste from landfills, either through a drop-off box or a curbside food scrap collection program. Lead by example by having food scrap collection at municipal facilities, and train staff on the importance of this issue. Third, use city communication channels to raise awareness of the issue and what residents and businesses can do to reduce food waste. Dearborn alone, about 40.4 million pounds of food are wasted in Dearborn annually. It would take about 465 million trees to be planted every year and grown for 10 years to offset these emissions. 1.9 million in social costs associated with food going to landfills, basement floodings from extreme weather events, medical bills from heat waves and asthma, all sorts of health issues. 24.4% of Dearborn residents are in poverty. 50% of food waste in Dearborn comes from residents, other than 20% from restaurants. Dearborn residents can save $86 million each year by eating the food they purchase and purchasing the right amount. Dearborn restaurants can save $1.4 million each year by not wasting food. There is an estimated 1.2 million meals that could be made from surplus food in Dearborn,
You have 30
valued at
seconds, please.
$4.8 million. Thank you. Not sending food from Dearborn to the landfill can save at least 11.16 tons of carbon dioxide each year. And Dearborn already has a plan on how to keep food out of landfills. It just needs to be implemented. We started the steps, but we haven't continued. And I'm here today as a concerned resident on food insecurity and also food waste.
Thank you. Appreciate your comments. Thank you very much. All right, as we extended time, there is several people regarding the Ashuta procession. As they are aware, those are on the consent agenda, so I'm going to call. If someone is good with and don't want to comment, that's fine. If someone does, please keep in mind that maybe you could share something different than maybe your colleagues from in the before to give us a different aspect on it. But hopefully those things have been resolved. I have Zainab Al-Galmi. Zainab? I'm sorry, ma'am. No, you can't. You can't just stand up and ask a question like that. If you like, you can come to the clerk. No, I know, ma'am, but we have to go in the order. I apologize. We have to go in the order so that everybody that came to speak will be able to be heard. Okay, so I don't see Zainab. Rayan Alzawate? Okay.
Gentlemen, we need this precision mark to present an important religions gathering, and we also pay attention for the parking arrangements, okay? And thank you for your efforts for everything. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I just talking about a few minutes, okay? And this is a very important meeting for us, Arba'in Ashura, very important. Thank you so much.
Of course. Well, no, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Okay, we have, again, on the Peace March, Muhammad Al-Thabat. Yes, sorry. Oh, good. All right.
Good evening, Mayor Abdullah Hamoud and City Council members. Thank you guys for the opportunity to speak.
Just your name again, for the record.
Sorry.
No, just your name again. I apologize.
Mohammed Al-Thihabawi.
Okay.
Okay?
Got it.
So I don't want to re-elaborate too much on what my brother Mohammed already said.
Yeah.
Just highlight a couple of different things.
Of course.
We appreciate the city of Dearborn. You know, it just shows how resilient and, you know, how we practice our amendments to the fullest here. You know, we probably get bashed a lot online, you know. Yeah. So, you know, it just shows how strong and resilient we are. So in my name and my fellow colleagues that are here and that are not here as well, I'd just like to point out that the annual Peace March commemorating the Imam Hussein has been a staple in the city of Dearborn for over 20 years. And we've seen that every year it's getting bigger and more. So I personally understand that organization is probably not where it needs to be. So, you know, we have Sayyid Haidar, he's here today. He's one of the leaders in organizing, you know, the tents and the stands and who does what. So that's one of the people that I probably would like to, you know, introduce him to you guys some more. And thank you to Kamal Sawafi. He's been very transparent. I mean, me personally, I woke up this morning and I got a call like, hey, they're canceling the procession, you know, go find out what's going on. There's a translation barrier in between. Yeah, no, Mustafa, it's true. You know, there's people that hear something and make it bigger than what it is. That's why I say thank you to Kamal Sawafi for the transparency and for him to actually sit down and show us what needs to be done.
Call me too, I'll translate.
Yeah, inshallah, I'll call you. Okay, so this march represents peace, unity, sacrifice. Providing free food and water is not just a tradition, it's deeply rooted act of hospitality, generosity that reflects the values of our Imam. For many participants, serving others is an essential part of this. We understand the city's concerns about organization, safety, and logistics, and we'd like to work hand in hand with the city, not just today or a week from now or a month from now, probably, you know, hopefully throughout the year, you know, to better organize this, and hopefully we can formulate something together, you know, to meet you guys' needs and portray a more beautiful image to the country and to the world, because we truly do have a lot of people from different countries, such as Canada, Mexico, and different parts of the United States.
You have
that come
30
out here.
seconds, please.
Thank you. Yeah, that's all I want to say, and thank you guys again, and thank you guys for having us.
We appreciate it. Thank you for coming forward. And as I indicated, that we appreciate the conversation and that we're glad that you were able to reach out to one of the council members so you can get some clarity. And we do recognize too, not only as a council, but the city, the state, that these processions are not only happening in Michigan, they're happening all over the country, all over the world. So we recognize that, and we just want to make sure that we you know, have the communication so everything's done in a proper manner.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. All right, we have Ali Al-Sadi. Yep.
Before I begin, I'd like to thank everyone present, the mayor, the councilmen, my fellow peers, and everyone who's watching online as well. Just to give light,
Just your name and address.
My name is
for the
Ali
record.
Saadi.
Okay, thank you.
Like what my peers said before me, this tradition's been going on for more than almost 20 years now. I'm 18 years old, basically. This has been going on longer than I've been alive. That's all I want to say. So I stand before you today to express my concern over the proposed restrictions on cooking and food distribution during the annual Arba'in March. The Arba'in procession is one of the largest public gatherings in our city and among the largest commemorations of its kind outside of the Middle East. It is a peaceful expression of faith, remembrance, service, and unity that brings together tens of thousands of people from Dearborn Heights, and many other surrounding communities. At the heart of this tradition is hospitality. Volunteers prepare and distribute food and beverages free of charge to everyone in attendance, regardless of background or belief. This is not simply a meal, it is a centuries-old tradition rooted in charity, generosity, and serving to others. For many participants, it is one of the most meaningful ways that they honor Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam and the values that he represents. Restricting cooking and food distribution would not simply change the event's logistics, it would fundamentally alter one of the defining traditions and diminish an important expression of our cultural and religious identity. I fully recognize the city's responsibility to protect public safety, and I believe that that goal can be achieved without sacrificing our traditions. Our community has consistently worked alongside city officials and law enforcement to ensure that this event is safe, organized, and completely respectful. I urge the council to continue that spirit of collaboration by working with organizers to find practical solutions rather than broad restrictions. Dearborn is recognized as a city that values diversity and respects the traditions of its residents. I respectfully ask that we uphold those specific values by protecting this long-standing practice while continuing to prioritize public safety. These are not competing goals, but rather they are responsibilities that we can achieve together. Again, thank you for your time, consideration, and for your service to our community.
Thank you very much. I can tell you that we appreciate your words. It seemed they were well thought out, and you said you're 18 years old?
Yes, sir.
It's phenomenal. Phenomenal job. We appreciate that. More people like you speaking up in the community is excellent. Great job. Thank you.
Sir.
Next, we have Ali Al-Jabari. Great.
Can I approach with this just to put it up here?
No, actually, what you can do, is that something you want to provide to the council? It would have to go to the clerk.
Just for you to view
Oh.
doing the speech, such and stuff like.
No, yeah, we can't allow that. I apologize. Yeah, it could be, yeah, you just keep it with you. We can't, yeah. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Thank you for the council and the mayor to allow us to give our word today. And I just want to say that my name is Sayyid Ali Al-Jabari. I'm representing Mokib Shaheed Al-Jum'ah, the USA chapter, which is the largest mokib in the world. And the first one to open outside of Iraq is right here in Dearborn, Michigan. And the city allows it because it is one of the amendments. I've been dedicated to serving Imam Hussein since I was 15 years old, starting with this peace march, the procession. Lately, though, it feels like there's so many restrictions on what we can do during this important time. And now, since we came in and we found out that it was because it was miscommunication, so moving forward, hopefully we start working on improving it. And unlike the city's festivals, concerts, and shows, we're not celebrating, we're not trying to cause problems, debates, or any of that. We're just going to remember a person that fought against oppression. And everything that we do is from our pockets. The food, the event is all free. Everybody's welcomed. Our families are struggling overseas, and times have gotten harder on us as Shias lately. It feels like the lessons of Karbala are repeating themselves. The Shia community in Dearborn has been organizing this special event over 25 years, creating lasting memories, fostering sense of togetherness among families. Not only strengthens the community, but also offers a warm, inviting atmosphere to everyone involved. Many people cherish this event as it brings the spirit of Imam Hussein's service closer to them here, especially for those who may never get the opportunity to visit Karbala. Even just for a day, with those couple hours, the experience leaves a lasting impression that they will carry with them forever. The city, we would like to thank the city for helping us out and supporting us. And we think of you guys not just as a council, but as a family. You know, we don't really care much about the city. We do our job because we, believe in what you guys do is already for the better for us. And I had one person one day at a mosque tell me, and he was a Lebanese person, an older person, saying that if it weren't for the Iraqi community coming in the 90s, the Shia presence in Dearborn would have faded. I would like to thank the Iraqis for, supporting and showing us who we are, going back to the traditions. I want to remind everyone that this isn't just about me or Iraqis or Lebanese or the Shias. It's about honoring Imam Hussein. Our children will learn the values, message of Imam Hussein through these events, such as Ali, the 18-year-old that just spoke before me.
You have 30 seconds.
Recently, I had the honor of visiting Imam Hussein Shrine, where there's around 200 to 250 million Shias in the world. They gave me this flag that was waved all year on top of Imam al-Abbas. I told them, when they presented it to me, I said, what is this for? How come we got it? He said, because we watched the videos and the procession of the 40th walk in Dearborn. So we want to honor you guys this flag. This flag is worth more than $1 million to me. I would never trade this flag. So this is what Dearborn does. And I would like to thank everybody here.
Thank you, Sayyid Ali. Appreciate your words, and thank you for coming forward. We appreciate it. We have Ghazwan. Ghazwan? Thank you so much. Then we have Mustafa Al-Munna. Al-Munna, yeah.
Mustafa Al-Munna. Hello, Council. Hello, Mayor. From Gridley Park, Dearborn.
Yeah.
Growing up from Dearborn, thanks to our council and mayor, our city has had held high standards over time, and then we recently own a valet company in the city, and we were shut down next to Cosmo Salon Studios. Our service was not blocking any roads. It was on a private area, and we were shut down, and then we were questioning why. When you go to other cities like Birmingham and some other surrounding cities, valet is like a standard set by the city. And my goal is to also help bring that standard and keep Dearborn at a high standard. Due to parking structure collapsing nearby, a lot of people go into these businesses. Every business in that plaza is collectively agreed on hiring us for the valet. People have had a hard time parking, resulting in businesses losing customers. So we've helped them out for the 2-3 weeks that we were there before being shut down. I would kindly like to ask maybe why it was shut down or what we can do to resume our services there, since it is on a private area. It's blocking no traffic, and it's only, helping all consumers attending those businesses.
If I can elaborate, Council President.
Yeah, Mayor, go ahead.
So thank you for being here, Musa. I know we spoke. This is the Cosmo Kawa House Plaza, correct?
Yeah.
So the Cosmo Kawa House Plaza, it's a public parking lot. It's not private. But the parking deck behind it, that's not the one that collapsed. That's the one currently being remodeled. Yeah. And because it's remodeled, it's currently closed. And so you're seeing a lot of overflow from the atrium into that back business parking lot. Most of it was contracted by the businesses of that plaza to commence valet parking. And I believe you were parking the vehicles over at Ford Field Park.
Yeah.
At the big lot at the bottom. And so I think he was shut down just to try to, because that requires approval of the council, to essentially offer the valet parking and to be able to park those cars in the public parking lot on behalf of those businesses during business hours. Similar to how we just approved valet parking for High Society and the parking deck, or how we approved valet parking for Tiliani as well. And so I think it's just a formality versus a denial. It's just about having to go through the appropriate process to get the permissions, because council ultimately has the final say.
All right. Thank you, Mayor.
That's
and
the
then
background on it.
Lastly, I just wanted to point out that we are not blocking any spots. We are kind of just there to help out. So there's no spots being blocked. Anybody can park wherever they'd like. We're just there once there is overflow, or if there is people that prefer to valet park, we're just there to kind of help out and give our services.
We appreciate it, but there, as the mayor indicated, there's a specific process which looks like you didn't follow it at all. So you have to go through that process as a business owner and the proper channels, like the businesses that mayor indicated, so we can get you a safe spot. Because although you might not look at it as it's nobody's property, that is the city property, right? And that's a public park.
Yeah.
So, we can't, that's like the city taxpayers being in business with you.
Yeah.
And we can't do that. We have to go through a process to find a way to make you be successful without hindering the public as well. Okay? So I would just recommend.
We'll connect him with Jordan.
I'm sorry?
We'll connect him with Jordan, as this is more than likely going to have to come through economic development to get the details and present it before council.
Okay. So do you understand that?
Yeah.
You have to go through the Economic Development Department, apply for permits, and you have to show a plan. There's a whole process.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Council.
Thank you,
Mayor.
Mr.
Of course. All right. Musa Al-Musa. I got that one right. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Hello, Council, Mr. Mayor. My name is Musa. I'm a resident from Maple Street, Dearborn. Just wanted to speak for a few minutes on the Arbain procession. I'm not representing any organization or organizer. I'm just a member of the community. I was a former employee here at the city, so it's good to see a lot of you again. I just wanted to say that, again, everyone's talked about the history and the significance and the meaning of all of that. I just want to really reiterate that everyone is welcome, regardless of your race or your religion or your gender or your cultural background, socioeconomic background. It is open to anyone and everyone, and I'm not promoting or in any sort of way, but simply to say that if I were to see any of you there, I would be very happy to share any sort of information or any sort of food or any sort of service I can. Working for the city has taught me to be a servant to the community, and I wish to uphold that through this procession as well, and through any other ways in which I can make your jobs easier and anyone's lives easier who may be watching this. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming forward. Thank you.
Can I make a general comment, Council
Yeah,
President?
of course,
I
Mayor.
just said that
We'll suspend the time.
Yeah, don't
Go ahead,
spend the
Mayor.
time. I think it's beautiful that we're talking about the procession and the handing out of food, and then we also are having a conversation about food waste. And I think it's a great opportunity for us to have conversations. And I think what's beautiful about the event is that the food is passed out, and I promise you nothing is left. Because I go just about every year, and I almost never walk out with a sandwich. I'm gonna come after you guys this year. Yeah, thank you so much. And so I just want to highlight that I think is just what a beautiful community we have. And so thank you so much, Said Musa. I'd also highlight just for you, there's an organization called Helping Hands. Helping Hands is an organization, at least during Ramadan, takes all the food waste and redistributes it 100%. So it is an issue that's top of mind, and I'll have a private conversation after the meeting is done to explore more ideas. Of course.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Mr. Anthony Deegan.
Deegan, Dearborn resident. I'm not married, but if I was, I would still live in Dearborn, just to let you know.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, so I came today to ask for like a proposition or a solution from City Council or the mayor. I attended the Wall of Tears event and the display, and I thought it was nice. You know, as nice as something like that can be. I thought it was meaningful, informative, something that helps you look. 20,000 kids is a tragedy, and it lets you see the other side of war, that it's kids that are suffering when adults are arguing and fighting. And even as I was thinking about that, reading the stories, seeing the names, I was thinking also of the things that happened on October 7th. And I will never forget this, burned into my memory, seeing this little boy. His mother was killed in front of him. He was taken as a hostage. And it wasn't Hamas that was taunting him, it was the local children asking him, where's your mother? And this kid looked shell-shocked, and he had no idea what was even going on, 6 years old. And so the city has taken a stance, oftentimes, many times, on this issue. And my question for the city is, and this is a genuine question, this isn't some kind of gotcha performative thing. I really want to know, what does the city propose as a solution? Like, what do you say Israel should do? You say what Israel should not do. I'm asking you to please tell us what Israel should do when they're attacked, or after a rocket attack, or after October 7th. I'm asking you a genuine question, if you could answer.
Mr. Deegan, you have your time. When your time is expired, then the council, if they choose to answer and would like to answer, that's up to them.
Okay. Well, my concern is that in the absence of an answer, and when one side of the story is presented and not the other side of the story, that and no solution is offered, that people make up their own solution. And I talked about this before. I think that there is a genuine concern about the Jewish community being attacked. I know that there's been threats all the way around. Every ethnicity is getting threatened now. This is where we are. But Ayman Ghazali is the only one who's actually tried to kill somebody, and he ended up killing himself. And in the absence of a solution, and when people see this and they don't see Hamas being entrenched in a civilian population defensively, and Hezbollah offensively trying to kill as many civilians as they can, this isn't an anomaly. This is the MO. And so when we can take a firm stance on the IDF, divestment from Israel, saying that Israel is murdering 20,000 children, and instead of saying that Israel is trying to target people entrenched in a civilian population, then people are left to their own devices. And they take that rage and they vent, and it becomes violent. And so please, again, it's not performative. I'm genuinely asking you for a solution.
Right.
If we take a stance, can you please offer a stance in the affirmative?
Okay, thank you. Is there time expired?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Does any council member want to, sir, I know, we're going to get you. We're going to get you. You're next. All right, thank you, Mr. Deegan. Next, we have Mr. Phil Smith. We need a Marine come up. There you go.
Mayor, how are you? City Council? I'm here on behalf of the Dearborn Allied War Veterans Council.
Just your name for the record.
Bill Smith.
Yes, sir.
And John Benziak, which is out of town. He asked me to do a presentation. So I don't know what you want, how you want to do this, but I'm supposed to.
You would have to
give a
pass
challenge
it to the clerk, but you could let us know, or you could just show it and speak it to the mic, and then you can
All
pass
right.
it to the clerk. He'll
This
get
is a
it.
challenge coin
Yes.
that was supposed to be given at the parade, or after the parade. This is a challenge coin.
There was a challenge coin at the parade.
Challenge
Is it a different
coin
one?
is, in tradition, that it started in the military to slap it on the bar.
Oh.
And if somebody did not have a challenge coin, then they would buy the round of cheer. Okay? However, if everybody had one, then the person slammed it had to buy.
Oh,
Either
that's-
way, it's going to go broke. Okay? So I will pass it on to Mr. Rainey.
Thank you. So there's one for each one of us.
Well, actually, there's one for each one and 3 for you.
For my
Now,
mom.
you personally.
For my mom, I know.
Not-
It's going to be for my mom.
You
for
get
sure.
one for yourself, one for your brother, and one for
Mom.
your mother.
You got
That's
it.
the way I was
Thanks, Phil.
told.
I
All
will,
right?
I will pass it on. Tell Mr. Benzick thank you and the
All right,
entire
and I'm from the other city,
organization.
Mayor. Okay?
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Appreciate it. We have Mr. Inder Dallin? Inder Dallin?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Mr. President and the council members. My name is Inder Dillon, and I live on Olmsted Street in Dearborn. I'm here, we came here last year, October 7, 2025. There is a no parking sign that was extended on the curb. It's right in front of my house, and I have a disabled father. He's 87 years old. You know, during that council meeting, it was promised that this is a temporary sign. We'll review it in 6 months. It's just a pole, and we can move it, you know, if need be. And I'm here after 10 months. Nobody has ever come back. You know, we're completely ignored, and nobody has actually come up after 6 months. I mean, there's a case pending in 3rd District Court for this sign. I mean, everything about it was not right. But I'm here to request a 6-month review that was actually promised to us. My father's actually fallen 4 times. He's gone through a real bad time. I mean, you know, he's had fractured vertebrae. He's got a wrist broken 1 time, and it's severe pain. So I'm here in front of the council requesting the review, I guess, whatever the result may be, as it was promised. And like I said, it's litigated at this point.
Mr. Dillon, thank you for that. I'd just like to remind the council and my council members that this case, as you indicated, is pending litigation, so the council will not comment on any litigation, as we have counsel ourselves that represents the, so anything that you are requesting, I would request that you send that through your attorney to get to the city attorney. That's what I recommend for you.
Okay. Yeah. I did request it, but I didn't get any response. I figured I'll come here and get your response
That's
anyway.
that's the process you have to go through, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, last one we have is Mr. Robert Hattis.
Robert Hattis, class of 68.
Which school, Mr. Hattis? We need to put that on the record.
The best school in Dearborn, Fortson.
Fortson.
No.
All right, well, so noted.
Anyway, before I start though.
Yeah.
Does my time get extended like a couple of others, or
Will
no?
you- Go ahead, we'll start
Or
when
no?
you start, Mr.
You know what?
Mr. Hattis, when you start.
I've listened to this, is it Mr. Anthony D. that was up here at the podium earlier? I've listened to him before, and I think I responded to one of his allegations and so forth with respect to what should Israel do when they're attacked. And I think I indicated back then, Lebanon and Palestine and Gaza and the West Bank, they're constantly under attack. Of course, you don't get mention of this in the media here. And for me to tell someone that, they assume that you're seeing everything in the media, and of course you're not. All you have to take a look at some of our European allies, quote allies, because I don't know if they're all allies right now. And they look at a different media, and I think you should look at other media that's coming across and so forth. But I would suggest this as to what they should do. Mr. Netanyahu, as I indicated before, didn't even respond to the attack right away. One of the most sophisticated nations on this earth, supposedly Israel, because they've taken advantage of some of our military secrets and so forth. But if you ask what should they do, they shouldn't run into southern Lebanon and fulfill what they call a Zionist dream. And nobody's going to understand what I mean by a Zionist dream unless you do your research. And you can't do that in 3 minutes here and educate the public on that. All I can do is tell them to take a look at that. He kept his war game going, and as our Secretary of State Rubio stated, on national TV, Israel dragged us into this Iranian war and put us in a war that we really shouldn't be in and so forth. Why is it that we condemn Russia for their preemptive attack into the Ukraine, but we do not say one word when we make a preemptive attack into another country? There was no need for that war. It's brought this president and administration has destabilized the entire world. I will say this, I'd be happy to sit with this gentleman, enlighten him, or give him direction as to what he should be reading, or let him, if he wants to read everything, then strike a balance and so forth. And I'm happy to see, and let me make a couple comments with all the young people that came up here. This is a system, when they're talking about the parade and everything, the peace parade. I'm glad they're coming up here and expressing themselves, because this is how it's done. Keep things in order. You have a means to come in here and do it, and you have a city that's allowing you to do this. So take advantage of it, because I promise you, overseas in some of the countries, you may not have that opportunity. You have it here. And that's the challenge for all of us as Americans, is to make this better for everybody, regardless of race, ethnicity, and so forth. Yes, there's a sizable Arabic population, Middle Eastern population here, but a lot of it is due to a lot of our foreign policy. And when we get our foreign policy right, maybe we'll get some allies back over here. And I'll say one last thing, and no one take offense. Jesus was a Jew. Jesus was not a Zionist.
Thank you, Mr. Hattis. All right, that is concluded. I thank my colleagues. That has concluded the first public comment, and we will now move to our regular scheduled meeting agenda items. Before we move to the consent agenda, are there any items in which any member would like to remove from the consent agenda and discuss individually? Okay, hearing and seeing none, Mr. Clerk, would you like to go forward?
Item number 7 is a resolution in need of offer and
Offer.
support approving
Offer.
all the items on the consent agenda.
All right, Mr. Clerk, we have an offer by Councilman Hammoud, is supported by Councilman Enos. Any questions or comments? All right, can we have a roll call vote?
Councilmember O'Reilly?
Yes.
Councilmember Enos?
Yes.
Councilmember Paris?
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham?
Yes.
Councilmember Hamud?
Yes.
Councilmember El Sawafi?
Yes.
Council President Sereni.
Yes.
7 yeas, the resolution passes.
All right, Mr. Clerk, can we continue to the next item?
Next item will be at the end of the consent agenda, item number 64, resolution by council members Paris and Enos approving the minutes of the previous special open meeting of July 1st, 2026.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Are there any additions, deletions, or modification to these minutes? All right, hearing and seeing none. Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item number 65, resolution by council members Enos and O'Reilly approving the minutes of the previous special open meeting of June 23rd, 2026.
All right, again, Mr. Clerk, thank you. Are there any additions, deletions, or modification to these proposed minutes? All right, any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 66 is a resolution by council members Abraham and Enos approving the minutes of the previous special closed meeting of June 23rd, 2026.
All right, are there any additions, deletions, or modification to these proposed minutes? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
67, resolution by council members Paris and Abraham approving the minutes of the previous regular meeting of June 9th, 2026.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Again, are there any additions, deletions, or modification to the proposed minutes? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 68, ordinance on the table, ordinance number 26-261869, an ordinance to amend the Parks and Recreations Chapter 15 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dearborn by amending Article 21 entitled Hours and Exception. Resolution by council members Enos and O'Reilly to take from the table for its final reading.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Unanimous roll shall be attached to take from the table for its final reading. The Police Department is requesting a change to the Parks and Recreation Chapter of the Code of Ordinances, Section 15-21, to require all juveniles under the age of 18 who are attending the Dearborn Homecoming Festival after 4 p.m. to be accompanied by a parent or legal guardian or adult. These changes would amend the provision of the Code of Ordinances governing park hours and would be applicable only to the Ford Field Park during the days of the homecoming operation this year through August 7th, August 7th through August 9th, Friday through Sunday. This is the second and final reading of this ordinance. Any questions or comments on this ordinance? All right, Mr. Clerk, can we have the second and final reading?
This is the final reading of ordinance 26-1869, an ordinance to amend the Parks and Recreations Chapter 15 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dearborn by amending Article 21 entitled Hours Exception.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Can we have a roll call vote?
Councilmember O'Reilly.
Yes.
Councilmember Enos.
Yes.
Councilmember Paris.
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham.
Yes.
Councilmember Hamud.
Yes.
Councilmember Al Sawafi.
Yes.
Council President Sereni.
Yes.
7 yeas, the ordinance passes.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. And that does have immediate effect, correct?
Yes.
All right, next item.
Item number 69, an ordinance number 26-1870, introduced by Council President Sereni. Synopsis: an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of the City of Dearborn by amending Article 18.00 entitled Industrial A Light Industrial District and Article 22.00 entitled TR Technology and Research District. Resolution by council members Abraham and Enos to table the ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. This is a Planning and Zoning Division is proposing an amendment to the City of Dearborn Zoning Code of Ordinances regarding the use of classification of data processing centers. Due to the rapid technology advancements under modern data centers have evolved to high-density industrial uses are no longer compatible with the way our current data processing is currently classified in our zoning ordinance. As presently written, these facilities could be permitted under the existing data processing use classification despite their large-scale size, density, and potential impacts on surrounding properties, which are inconsistent with the purpose of the city's zoning regulations. The proposed amendment updates the zoning ordinance by removing the data processing as permitted use in the industrial A and the TR technology and research districts. Under the amendment, the data centers would instead be permitted in the industrial D, the general industrial district, where all uses are not where all uses will not be expressly prohibited by the ordinances that are allowed. This is the first of two readings. This is something that the council has been working on with the administration regarding what most people are seeing around town now with around the country with data centers. This is the first of 2 readings. Any questions or comments? All right, Ms. Clerk, can we have the first reading?
This is the first reading of ordinance 26-1870, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of the city of Dearborn by amending Article 18 entitled Industrial A, Light Industrial District, and Article 22.00 entitled TR, Technology and Research District.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. I also wanted to make sure that the residents know that the council has supported my recommendation to, with the administration, to task them to look at a moratorium on data centers so that we have a time to study these and understand what's the best fit for them. In my understanding, this is something that is going throughout the country, and we want to make sure that we get ahead of it in the city of Dearborn. Any questions or comments on this item? Okay, any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 70, resolution by council members Al Sawafi and Enos authorizing to vacate the remainder of the 18-foot wide alley located east of and parallel to Indiana Street between Diversity Avenue and Gould Street from the northern right-of-way boundary of Gould Street, extending 17.5 feet north of the south line of Lot 32 of the West Warren Heights subdivision to allow the owners of the properties located at 7410, 7416, and 7424 Indiana Street to address maintenance and safety concerns.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The owner of 7410, 7416, and 7424 Indiana Street, Guman Atari, is requesting the vacation of the alley, remaining 18-foot of the public alley located east and parallel of Indiana Street between Diversity Avenue and Gould Street. The alley extends from the northern right-of-way line to the Gould Street to about 17.5 feet north of the south lot line of Lot 32 in West Warren Heights subdivision. According to the applicant's letter of intent, the alley vacation will allow the property owner to address ongoing maintenance and safety concerns. The applicant also obtained letters of support from the affected property owners of 7400, 7430 Indiana Street as well. The proposed alley vacation is not expected to negatively impact surrounding land uses or create any vehicle circulation issues or garage access issues. The Planning Commission recommended approval of the request at this on June 8th, 2026 meeting. Any questions or comments?
Can I make a comment, Council President?
Yes, Mayor.
I'm wondering if we can postpone this decision. I think, I'm joking. He's been at the council meeting ever since this was brought forward, and honestly, I just want to thank you. Thank you for following the process, for coming each and every single meeting, and by the time this is done, you're going to have a vacated alleyway, and you can mow it as long as your heart desires. So thank you.
You're helping the city. Appreciate it. Councilman Al Sawafi.
Thank you, Council President. I also want to just thank the applicant and the neighborhood for their advocacy and bringing this forward to the administration and to the council. You know, I visited the site myself, and it's just a place where rodents collect, potentially people go hide out in there. So I appreciate you bringing it here, and I appreciate the mayor's hard work to make this happen. So thank you.
Excellent, excellent. All right, any other questions or comments? And Mr. Clerk, this shall have immediate effect.
Yes.
Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Next item.
Item 71, resolution by council members Enos and Hammoud authorizing the finance director to recognize the Michigan Economic Development Corporation's Revitalization and Placemaking Grant Program revenue in the amount of $1 million in the General Capital Improvement Fund and appropriate general capital improvement expenditures in the amount of $1 million for the local dollar-for-dollar match to support alley and other public space enhancements for the East Downtown Access Hub. Also authorizing the mayor to execute the grant agreement and all documents necessary to accept and proceed with the grant, subject to review and approval by Corporation Council.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The Economic Development Department applied for a funding grant through the Michigan Economic Development Corporation's third round of revitalization placemaker, or other known as RAP grants, to support pedestrian alley and public space enhancements as part of Access's planned transformation. of the East Downtown Hub. The grant will fund improvements to the pedestrian alley behind the Arab American National Museum, Necklace Street intersection. Under the grant requirements, the project must be completed by December 31st of 2028. Approval of this request will allow the city to accept and utilize the grant for these improvements. The RAP grant provides a dollar-for-dollar match up to $1 million. The Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy and the State Materials Management Division will allow the city to dispose of scrap tires in the amount not to exceed $12,000. Right? I'm sorry, that's a separate one? I apologize.
I think you read the first one, then you went to a second one.
Okay, hang on a second. Thank you, Mayor.
Stop at the 1 million from
All right, hang on, Mayor. You're right. Thank you, Mayor.
Those two different grants.
Yeah, we have a lot of grants, so I got it mixed up. Well, I appreciate it. Again, this is requested by the Finance Director to authorize, recognize, and appropriate $1 million in grant revenue to the General Capital Improvement Fund and appropriate the same amount in the expenditures with immediate effect. Again, we want to thank the Grants Department and the multi-hats and the new resident of the, who's also a resident of Dearborn, now getting these grants. As I've always said, that is our money sent to the federal government, and whoever can get it back down to their city is you know, the one who can get it done. So we do appreciate this. This will definitely help that area on Michigan and Schaefer. Any other questions or comments? Councilman Hammoud.
Yeah, I know this is the second time we're trying to build an alleyway over there, and hopefully this time is going to be the charm.
So this is,
Mayor?
Appreciate your remarks. This is Access, as written in the summary, purchased the Citizens Bank. And so we're focused on more than just revitalizing an alleyway. We're actually projecting a larger development that'll actually put foot traffic back into East Michigan Avenue. And so when City Hall was relocated, we took out about 500 employees. With this potential development, we're talking about injecting 300 plus employees back into East Michigan Avenue in partnership with Access. And so that's what this ultimate project will be.
And I'll just dovetail on that. I think it's an understatement how happy everybody is that Access purchased it, because we've been staring at that building for many years and approached the, you know, people about doing something with it. It was kind of like, oh, you know, what do you got for us? So it's nice that that we were able to find a partner to actually activate that corner, because I think Michigan and Schaefer historically was a, you know, kind of like a peak Dearborn hub, and Montgomery Ward used to be kitty corner, that corner, and I think this is a great project, assuming we get it all the way through, that I think people are going to start to see new life in East Dearborn in that area, so I'm actually really excited about this.
Appreciate it, and thanks for your comments. And of course, the mayor is not going to take the credit for it, but that Access didn't just purchase that by mistake. So we do appreciate the mayor's diligently working. You know, it takes a whole administration and leadership to get these things done, but the property in the city of Dearborn is very valuable, so we're trying to make sure, and the mayor's leadership, to make sure that we get the right people purchasing the properties that will help revitalize the area, as you instructed. And you know, we did a lot of things down in the downtown, but it does take time to come back. So this will definitely help. Definitely help. So we do appreciate it. Any other questions or comments? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 72, resolution by council members Hammoud and Paris granting the request of the American Muslim Society for a temporary use of land permit to host the outdoor health fair at its privately owned parking lot located at 9949 Werner Highway from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, August 22nd, 2026. Also granting a noise waiver for the duration of the event and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The American Muslim Society is requesting approval to hold its third annual outdoor health fair in a privately owned parking lot on 9945 Werner Highway. The free community event will take place Saturday, August 22nd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. The health fair will provide residents with access to healthcare information and services, promoting the health and well-being of the Dearborn community. The society is also requesting the City Council waive the noise ordinance during the event hours and also requesting immediate effect. As they indicated, it's the third one, and we've had no concerns or issues, so hopefully they continue to serve people. Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 73, Resolution by council members Al-Sawafi and O'Reilly acknowledging the Eagle Scrap Tire Cleanup Grant award from the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy and the State Materials Management Division to allow the city to dispose of scrap tires in an amount not to exceed $12,000.
All right, so we're now on the right item. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The Department of Public Works and Facility requests the City Council to recognize the Scrap Tire Cleanup Grant agreement between the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy, or EGLE, and the City of Dearborn. On this agreement, the city will be reimbursed for disposal of eligible scrap tires with grant funding available for disposal up to $12,000. The agreement with EGLE Materials Management Division authorizes the city to participate in this cleanup grant. The agreement will become effective upon execution by EGLE and will remain in effect until December 31st, 2027. So I do really appreciate this. A few years back, we started with a Clean Streets crew, and I know the mayor and the administration has been really diligent. We are, the home of Ford Motor Company. There is pockets of the city of Dearborn where it is just ripe for dumping and so on and so forth, and we have continuously been staying on top of it. So I do appreciate the administration and the grants department for finding this money to help take it off the taxpayers and make sure that we get the city cleaned up. Any questions or comments? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 74 is a resolution by council members Paris and Enos approving the Michigan Department of Transportation contract number 26-5247 with the city's share in an estimated amount of $274,824 for hot mix asphalt cold milling and resurfacing work along Southern Road between Miller and Stecker, subject to review by the legal department, also granting a noise waiver and authorizing the mayor to sign the contract on behalf of the city and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The city is requesting approval for MDOT contract 26-5247 for roadway improvements on the southern avenue of Miller Road to approximately 500 feet east of Stecker Street, a segment of the city's main street federal aid system. The project includes cold milling of concrete and asphalt paving, hot mix asphalt resurfacing, concrete base pavement repairs, and pavement markings and maintenance of traffic. Approximately 82% of the construction and engineering costs will be funded by the federal grant, with the remaining billed by the city of MDOT through the process of payments. It is requested that the council approve the MDOT contract 26-547, subject to review by legal department. Authorize the mayor to execute the contract on behalf and giving the resolution immediate effect. Any questions or comments?
Should make one comment, John.
Mayor?
Speak. I'm sorry. I know it's a long meeting.
That's okay.
This is celebrates the completion of the Miller Rotunda Bridge. That was about a $75 million project. Southern Road, if you don't know, is the road that runs underneath Miller Bridge. So while we shut down the bridge, not we, the county shut down the bridge for 3 years.
Yes.
Now all the truck traffic went on Southern. Southern is really beat. And so this will be the repaving of Southern and hopefully the renewal of that whole area. So we're super excited to get this through.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Any other questions or comments? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 75 is a resolution by council members Al-Sawafi and O'Reilly authorizing to amend the lease agreement with Birdie's Restaurant to clarify maintenance responsibilities and update the lease's financial terms.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The proposed lease agreement with Birdie's updates the existing agreement by clarifying maintenance responsibilities and establishing a revised long-term financial structure. Under the amendment, the tenant will assume responsibility for maintenance, repair, and replacement of the building's exterior, including the roof, landscaping, and restaurant HVAC systems. The tenant will also be required to obtain an annual roof inspection by a qualified contractor and provide an inspection report to the city of Dearborn. Beginning January 1st, 2027, the amendment established a base monthly rent of $8,000 monthly and an annual rent increase of 3% beginning January 1st, 2028. These changes are intended to reduce the city's long-term maintenance obligations, promote and protect and preserve the facility, providing a long sustainable lease contract, and support the continued operation of the restaurant at the Dearborn Hills Golf Course, and this is also being requested with immediate effect. Any questions or comments from my colleagues?
I have a couple comments.
Councilman Abraham.
Yeah, I appreciate the folks at the restaurant They took on a very difficult situation and relieved the city of some very challenging responsibilities when it comes to food service. Just a couple comments, I guess, or questions regarding some of the backup we received, because for me, this is on the surface, exactly as the summary says. It's about a shift in financial responsibilities. So Mayor, if you could, the backup we received showed the 10-year original lease payments estimated at 1.8 million, 1.85 million to be exact. I tried to figure out how that was calculated. The notes indicate what the revenue estimate was for 2025, but it didn't really show the math on what the revenue estimates were forecasted out over that 10-year period. So I don't know if you're intimate with the details or who produced the document that we received. I think it was yesterday or the day before. But I was just curious on that, because with simple sort of revenue increases over time, the number I came up with for the original lease was closer to 2.1 million, not 1.8 million.
I will call on Deputy Director or Finance Director.
Yeah, Director
to
Kennedy.
speak to who came up with the projections. I didn't do the projections myself.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Council. Jonathan Goles, Deputy Director, Parks and Recreation. We kept that revenue number flat, sir.
Flat. So you assume no increase in revenue over the life of the lease?
Correct, sir.
Okay. That's what I thought. I don't think that's not how I would have expected the revenue assumptions to be handled, but I understand that you kept them flat. For me, the challenge here is really I feel like we renegotiated the lease in the city, although is giving up some of the maintenance responsibilities, is also giving up a lot on the stream of revenue from leasing almost the entire facility there. Before we get into what the estimated maintenance expenses will be for the tenant should this amendment pass, my numbers are on the revenue side, on the lease obligation side, are closer to $1 million different over the 10-year period. Factoring in the $500,000 in maintenance that's been estimated, that means the city will receive $500,000 less in lease obligations to the Recreation Department. So, over 10 years. So I just feel like that's a pretty significant amount of money. I wish we would have had more time to go through the numbers. We don't. But I just wanted to make those comments. If it was me and I was the landlord, I'd do the maintenance and collect the rent. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Abraham. For myself, I did have a conversation with Councilman Abraham. I do appreciate the information. I think the longer vision is for the city is that it's a very, very challenged property. I think my concern as in our meeting was, how we're going to get the golf course up to 18 holes and add, potential the restaurant potentially offering, more options during the time where they're currently closed because we don't have enough people there. As we were watering the situation, spending a lot of money at Dearborn Hills to upgrade it, and just to keep in mind for the residents, it is a floodplain that was Ford Motor Company donated to us. So even in not very, very hard rain incidents, there is sometimes impossible to get into the facility. So taking that into effect, my concern has always been, and I understand small business wanting to have fixed numbers and expectations, and I am fully aware, I've been to the place several times. It is definitely bringing more attention to our golf course, and we hope that they will continue to be successful. As I indicated in the previous meeting, over 50% of small businesses do not make it in the first 5 years. So that's why I wanted to support giving them a more stable situation. And just to keep in mind, prior to the 34th Council and the administration under Mayor Hammoud the first time, the city on record was losing approximately $250,000 every single year in this operation. And currently now we've turned it into not only not losing taxpayer $250,000, but a high-end, very nice facility, restaurant there. And also now we're turning at this indicating approximately $8,000 a month in rent. So I'm not a math major, but the 8,000 times 12, 86, 90,000,
96.
96, thank you. So not everybody wants, but to me that's a substantial swing. And more importantly too, the maintenance that will be required, as we had from our Deputy Golich, indicating that there is concern with the roof in a short period of time. We also have indicated, if I'm correct, Mayor, regarding the actual parking lot, which services the golfers, that we have agreed to a 50-50 split on the repavement. Is that correct?
Correct. It's before you.
Right, which is also substantial, as Councilman Abraham's points are well taken. Also, too, if I was the tenant, I wouldn't want to pay for half the parking lot when it's only, so it's a give and take. I do appreciate the operation. The mayor also indicated that at no additional cost to the taxpayers, that during the renovations, just for pure logistical aspect, we ended up getting the shop included as well, the golf shop, paid by the tenant as well to bring it up to snuff. So if you haven't been to Birdie's, it's tremendous, excellent food. I am looking for a few less fried options, just myself. It seems like everything is fried there, Mr. Mackey. All right, good. Tremendous operation. If you haven't had a chance to go to Birdie's and have a nice little luncheon and dinner, it is a tremendous place, dinner right now, right? So hopefully, as I indicated, I am a firm believer that the government is not the best person to tell you a business how to run. I have full confidence that once the course is up to what it needs to be, and we have golfers there all day, that I'm sure your business model will adjust to them. And I think that was a concern of some of the members as well, which I do think it's valid. But again, I always look at it in the eyes of the business owner, understanding what they need. And hopefully once we drive that course to a better situation, we should have more and more golfers there, and then they can look at it. Any other final comments or questions by any of my colleagues?
I just want to make a final
Councilman Abraham,
comment.
of course.
Sure. So we ran the projections out the projections were run out for 10 years. Just some clarification on the formula and the lease approval after the 10th year. Is it automatically going to renew, or is it?
It's options. They're 5-year options.
For the city?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. And just the one more comment I'd make, just
Yes,
from like a CPA to a business degree guy, I think the other thing to take into account is the net present value of the dollar. And so it's because,
Health policy degree.
Well, yeah, I got my MBA as well.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah. And so I think it's the net present value of the dollar. So I think it's the consideration of if you get $35,000 less in revenue per year, but then you avoid a $300,000 expense up front. And so what's the value of basically an amortized loss on revenue versus an upfront cost of the expense? And so I think if that's just the other component to when you kind of hash this out. Like I feel the pain when I come before you having to pave asphalt, and having to come up with $300,000 versus we might not be collecting on the revenue side rather than having something on our expense column. So I think that's just one last consideration.
Yeah, and I'll just add, Mayor, I don't disagree. I just wish this would have all been hashed up with the original lease. I mean, I know
Of
you
course,
can't,
yeah,
everybody can't know everything about a property up front. And it kind of got dropped. I felt a little bit surprised by this on Thursday night. So with that, I think for me, it's more of the pothole bump in the delivery than the substance of it. As much as I wish we had more time, I started with that, I'll end with that. We don't. So we can vote as we wish. I'm hoping the proprietor and the tenant there is very successful, and in 10 years from now, we're talking about renewing a lease for a lot more money that is in this one. So, and thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Okay,
All
thank you.
right, Councilman Hammoud.
Yeah, I think this is a way shorter discussion. We had a much more spirited discussion on Thursday that was, the council president was very adamant about some of these escalator clauses to make sure that residents really, we squeezed them more than they had expected, I think, which they agreed to, so thank you guys. But I think my perspective on it kind of goes back to, I'll translate the business speak that the mayor said, because I don't have my MBA yet, but essentially, when we started the golf course and Bertie first walked in there, at the end of the day, I think people need to remember it was basically a dead golf course. Never mind just the greens themselves. They called it, a yellow course or whatever we're joking or calling it. And we're still recovering on the golf course. And then even the building itself was all flooded out and a big problem. And they've invested. Now I don't know if we got the exact numbers. Somewhere between, we were told, $1 million and $2 million. $2
million. Thank you.
So $2 million. Thank you. We were looking for that answer. So Birdie's and the operators invested $2 million into the property at no cost to taxpayers, and yeah, no one does anything for free in this country, at least not right now. So at the end of the day, the taxpayers are benefiting significantly by this deal, and we're getting an operating golf course, and we're still getting revenue. So essentially, really what we were arguing was just how much we want to squeeze the business owner for revenue for the sake of the taxpayers, to be clear. So at the end of the day, it goes from being what was a loss for the city to we're just negotiating how much positive we're going to get out of the city. So that's why, I personally am very wholeheartedly in support of what we negotiated. And like I said, I think everybody here drove quite a hard bargain, and I'm pretty happy with where we landed.
So, Mr. Mackey, if you just for the name, because I know
Yes.
you were asked questions, and we want you to come up instead of from the thing. So, just for your name and
Carl Mackey, and thank you very much, Council
What's your
President.
position? Your
Owner-operator.
Owner-operator.
And I'm heavy in Dearborn. We have Egg Bar and Unburger as well. We're working on the Boardwalk project, the former Andiamo. We did bring Paris Baguette to the city as well. We hand-selected them and made that work. Really, the biggest thing is, you practice for a game and you practice for a game, then you play the game and you realize that this wasn't what you practiced for, right? So when we opened up, we saw the difficulties in making it a lunch and dinner spot, and then we found the sweet spot and keeping it a 4 to 10 spot where we're not trying to money grab there, we're trying to be successful for the city and ourselves. And we have a staff that we employed, over 50 people in the city. We cleaned up the golf course significantly. Working with John and the mayor and everybody else has been a plus for us. We've never seen a city cooperate with you as well as you guys do. And we're very thankful for that. But at the same time, we did take the utilities off the city. We did take the alarm off the city. We do clean the pro shop as well as our restaurant every single day, every single night. The bathrooms, the exterior of the place. We do maintenance. We try to share as much as we can with the city right now. So we're trying to keep that place active and green and clean. And we did create a huge demand to that destination, and we want to keep it that way. And as like right now, we're at a point where we had $19,000 in sales for the pro shop, just golf, food, beverage, and we're at a $21,000 cost. So with labor is over $12,000 for the pro shop to run it, and we just don't have business. We're not breaking $50 some days. So yes, I want to bring sandwiches on, I want to bring food on for the golfers, but we don't have that demand. So right now, I would be making these sandwiches and throwing them away because I can barely sell a bag of chips right now. And we have construction going on. We have the other 9 holes being worked on. So we've been dealing with a lot of challenges, but we've been dealing with it as one. And the city and our group have faced it head on. And we had both of us questioning Wayne County when they're going to get out of our parking lot. We work as one, and that's the best part about this. And I'm very grateful to be in a city like this. I was in Wayne for 20 years, working on the Avenue American Bistro and Tanning Salon and Hair Salon, and we have a plaza out there. So I'm very happy to come back home and work in my hometown. And I understand your concerns; they're very valid. So I'm not taking anything away from you, and I respect them. But at the same time, I'm being practical. Yes.
No, we appreciate it, Mr. Mackey, and we recognize, and myself having conversation with the mayor, and nobody understood unless you walked through the building once you started unpeeling, let's say the onion, was a lot of work. But we do appreciate it, and we do take in consideration. I think all my colleagues are fully aware that the old Andiamos is going to be brought back to life. I know the Paris Baguette is tremendous, and I know there's a lot more coming. So we do take that in consideration, and we understand what you're doing and what you're going through. So we hope that the stability is what most restaurants look in, myself being in that business. I know you've done a tremendous job, not only with the service and the food quality, but the image, which is important. I mean, image matters, and we do want to represent properly in the city of Dearborn, and I think you have done all of those successfully and well. So we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. I'm following your footsteps.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions or comments?
If I could.
Yeah, 1 second. Did you?
I was going to say,
Yeah,
I agree
Councilman.
with your comment on the fried food.
Okay.
Although you don't listen to us on
Councilmember-
menu, please, we don't want to be in business with you. Like Mike always, Council President always says, government should not be running your business. So don't
You know,
worry
if
about it.
if I put grilled chicken on my menu, I need another like 30 square feet in my
Yeah,
kitchen.
exactly, yeah.
That's how it goes, you know?
Well, you know what to do. You know what to do. But we'll talk about that offline.
For sure, you got it.
All right, Councilman Perry.
Thank you, Council President. I just wanted to make a mention that I'm coming from a little bit of a different perspective here, and I appreciate my colleagues on council in that they have the background, whether it's accounting, whether it's the business, and you know, I'm looking at it too. This has been challenging for a long period of time. I mean, a lot of it with COVID, and then the flooding that we had. We had a lot of golfers and leagues that went elsewhere. 9-hole problem, and then 18, then 9 holes again, and we're looking to what it's going to look like, and we've had assurances what this course is going to look like next year. And there's been a problem. It's been challenging. But what I've enjoyed seeing now is made the recommendation too, because of your hours, the 4 to 10 o'clock, you know, Mondays off. You know, we're looking at it from the city perspective. Obviously, this is what we're representing. You're looking at it from the business perspective. I'm also looking at it for the residents, my perspective as a resident and somebody who has golfed and been down there a number of times over the years. Looking at their perspective, not having the food available, you know, before 4 o'clock to any certain degree. And then now looking at this, and I commend you for bringing and being amicable to at least looking at this and expanding, you know, the operation there. So I wish you luck in going into the future, and I appreciate, you know, some of the colleagues' comments on that aspect also. So I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let's go
Appreciate
forward
you.
and make it a success.
We will. With John Golich being a part of it, we have no doubt.
No.
Yes.
60 seconds, Council President. I'm sorry.
Yes,
Just so
ma'am.
everyone's aware, we brought back 18 holes. We are fixing the sprinklers right now across 18 holes, and then Wayne County also commenced construction out the blue. And so that's why we had 9 on and 9 on and 9 off. And so, God willing, the yellows are greening. And next year, I think we'll be fully at 18 with a working sprinkler system that has about 500 sprinkler heads. So just want to.
I agree. That was a huge investment that Valentin did. And 2027 is our year, I think.
Agree.
The mayor,
Yes, all right. Excellent, thank you very much, appreciate it. Any other questions or comments? Any objection to a unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Good luck, Mr. Mackey.
Thank you very much.
Next item.
Item number 76, resolution by council members Paris and O'Reilly authorizing the finance director to recognize and appropriate grant funding from the Institute of Museum and Library Services through the Library of Michigan in the amount of $1,496 to be utilized for the Dearborn Public School or Dearborn Public Library STEM initiatives and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The request to accept and recognize another grant of $1,496 from the Institute of Museum and Library Services. The grant funds will be used to purchase equipment and materials for STEM kits that will be available for checkout at the Henry Ford Centennial Library beginning this summer, 2026. The kits will allow families to explore topics such as air quality, birds, night sky, mosquito habits. I didn't know they had that one, mosquito habits. It's not bad. They will also include robotics, coding, that's a good one. Green energy kits designed for children in preschool through middle school. Immediate effect is being requested, and again, we'd like to thank our Philanthropy and Grants Department and the library in conjunction together receiving this grant. Any questions or comments? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 77, resolution by council members El Sawafi and Paris approving the request of the Hadi Institute for a 2-year extension time to complete the parking lot of 5 vacant lots located at 3601 Westwood, 3615 Westwood, 3625 Westwood, 3850 Heritage Parkway and 3800 Heritage Parkway with a new construction deadline of July 18th, 2028, and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The Council Resolution 7-36123 authorized the sale of property to the Hattie Institute contingent on the institution completing improvements within a 3-year period allowed for a VP parking lot with a deadline of July 18th of this year. The original parking lot design which was approved, had a cost prohibitive, and a revised design has a single developer has testified that the city recommends, while significantly reducing the overall cost of the project. The Hattie Institute is requesting a 2-year extension to complete the required improvements, extending the deadline of the completion of the parking lot to July 18th of 2028. Any questions or comments on this?
I have a comment.
Yep. Okay, Councilman Abraham.
Thank you. After our discussions Thursday, Economic Development came back with a milestone sort of timeline and progress update, which I appreciate. We discussed of having certain milestones scheduled so that we didn't get to the end of the 2-year extension and find out that the deadline was not going to be met. And I appreciate that, and I think this is something, looking forward, really should be incorporated in all our property sales that are transferred for development purposes of any kind, whether it's a parking lot, a single-family home, or a commercial development, so that the city and the department, the Economic Development Department, are well aware of the challenges that the buyer may have earlier on in the process, instead of getting to the end. And at least from my position, it feels like we're surprised that they're asking for an extension because things didn't move along as scheduled. So hopefully this will create better controls over that and keep everybody on pace to meet the deadline and have a successful development. Thank you.
Yes, Councilman Abraham, thank you for that suggestion. And I know that the Economic Development Department worked that into this one, but based on your suggestion and feedback from the rest of our colleagues, I had instructed the legal department to look at changing our ordinance to indicate those so that we have a more structured time. Because you're absolutely right. When you have 1 year, it's almost, you like you said, you can't get your plans and everything ready, and then you have a month left. There's no way to get done. So your points are well taken, and we are going to look at revising the ordinance. And this will also give the people a much better expectation, the petitioner, of, if I don't hit this milestone, you're not going to be able to build and do a facility. But we wish you the best of luck, and hopefully that will take that property off the city hands and make it at least usable. As everybody knows, that spot is very challenging and has been rezoned properly. Any other questions or comments? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 78, resolution by council members El Sawafi and Paris authorizing the finance director to recognize and appropriate additional grant funding from the 2026 Michigan Veterans Treatment Grant Program through the State Court Administration Office for fiscal year 2026 in the amount of $8,000 for the 19th District Dearborn Veterans Treatment Court, and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The 19th District Court applied for and was awarded an initial grant of $12,186 through the Michigan Veterans Treatment Court Grant Program for fiscal year 26. The grant period runs through October 1st, 2025 through September 30th of 26. The Dearborn Veterans Court has since received an amended grant reallocation providing with an additional $8,000 in funding through the 2026 Michigan Veterans Treatment Court Grant Program. It is requested the finance director or designee be authorized to recognize and appropriate the $8,000 grant funding, which has no local match with immediate effect. We do appreciate it. We know we had a representative from the court and the Veteran Court Department here on our Committee of the Whole meeting to speak to it. So we do appreciate this, and hopefully this will definitely help some people that frequent the court regarding our Veterans Treatment Court program. Any other questions or comments? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 79, resolution by council members Enos and O'Reilly authorizing the mayor's office to renew the citywide membership with the Southeast Michigan Council of Governments, also known as SEMCOG, in the amount of $16,117 for the period of June 1st, 2026 through May 31st, 2027.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The Mayor's Office is requesting approval to renew the city's membership with the Southeast Michigan Council of Governors, or SEMCOG, for a period of June 1st, 2026 to May 31st, 27. SEMCOG membership provides the city with data analysis and technical resources to support local and regional decision-making, including information on growth and development trends, government efficiency and collaboration, non-motorized transportation, road safety, stormwater management, and other environmental initiatives. The annual membership cost is $16,117, an increase of $515 from the 2025 fiscal year budget. Any questions or comments on this item? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
We have one walk-on item, Council President. Item
Yes, sir.
number 80 from the police, recommending ordinance number 26-1871 in need of an introduction.
Introduction by Councilman Hamud, offered by Councilman El Swafi. Any council member? We had an introduction offer. Support by Councilman O'Reilly.
I thought we had them both.
No.
That's okay. That's all right. Not at once. All right, Mr. Clerk, would you like to continue? I'm going to have the
Yes.
chief come up. This is important information.
Synopsis, this is an ordinance to amend the offenses chapter 14 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dearborn by amending Article 8, Section 14-317, entitled Curfew. Resolution in need of an offer and support to table the ordinance.
All right, Mr. Clerk, you do have that offer
Yes.
support, correct? Okay. You have the introduction?
Yes.
Offer support. All right, thank you. So the police department, the chief is here, will give us into this. It's a very important situation that we're doing it for temporary. The police department is requesting a change of the Code of Ordinances, Chapter 14, Section 14-317, curfew. These changes would be applicable during the upcoming Dearborn Homecoming Festival, scheduled August 7th through August 9th, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and a subsequent homecoming festival taking place at Ford Field, which is being go on forward. So notwithstanding any other provisions of the section for each day, the homecoming festival takes into effect at the Ford Park and the minors. The proposal will work hand in hand with recently changed Code of Ordinances titled Hours of Exception. And I know the chief is here to explain it. So chief, would you like to brief us on what?
Sure. Good evening, Council President Issa Shaheen, Police Chief. First and foremost, I want to thank you for working collectively on this issue so that we can ensure we have a safe homecoming. So we've done our homework, we've watched what's worked in other communities, and being mindful of some of the teen takeovers and issues we've seen elsewhere. As you previously read at today's council meeting, we are going to have a requirement to have a parent or guardian after 4 p.m. on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at homecoming. One of our concerns are if we should have juveniles that we push out of the homecoming or ask to leave because of the requirement to be with a parent or guardian. We don't want that spillover to end up in the neighborhoods potentially or the business district and not have a mechanism to deal with it. So we're going to use we're going to use a common sense approach to this, but if we have young adults that are causing a disturbance in the business district or the area that we've outlined in the evening after 9 p.m., we could potentially use the curfew as a mechanism to deal with that issue. Otherwise, it could become problematic.
Well, Chief, I want to thank, I know we had a meeting, myself and yourself and the mayor, and I know the mayor, we've been working really diligent, as many people know. This is the last meeting before the homecoming, and I do appreciate the work that your team has done, Chief, for my colleagues. I didn't have a chance to speak to them regarding it, but, and I know the mayor wants to keep under wrap what's the security protocol, but I want residents to feel completely safe at the homecoming, and Chief, being forward-thinking, as you're indicating, sending your officers and personnel to Livonia and to other districts where they're having these festivals where, you know, there is an uptick in situations where younger people, but I think it's curbing here in Dearborn. I mean, I think our fireworks situation was substantially better than a year or two ago. So I just want the residents, I know the mayor didn't want to bring out what we're planning, but you will see a tremendous presence of force of your Dearborn Police Department at the homecoming, so you can feel completely safe, and we want people to enjoy the time and have a good time. That's what the festival's for.
Yeah, I've been here for 30 years. We've had a wonderful homecoming for the 30 years I've been here, and I expect that to continue.
Absolutely. So I wanted to make sure that this was brought forward. I know that my colleagues are fully aware of this, and what we're trying to do here, this is an ordinance. which will require a first reading and second reading as well, and we will schedule that as well. And I'm sure, Chief, through the police department social media as well as the mayor's social media, that we'll get this out to all the residents so that they understand. Nobody doesn't want anybody not to show up and have a good time. But logistically, things that we have done under your tutelage regarding how dense populated some areas are of the festival, or the festival, we've made some tweaks and changes in order to have safety.
Yeah, I'd be happy to speak to that. You know, one of the things that
Okay.
we've seen is, you know, it can get fairly congested in the carnival area, so we're being very deliberate about how we position some of the rides to allow for more access to the public, so it doesn't get so densely compacted in that area. We're going to move the rides to the outside of the event and have fewer items in the carnival area so that people can freely move. But to your point, Council President, we want to make sure it's a warm, inviting space for families to come and enjoy, and that's what I look forward to.
Right, and also, Chief, for the first time, we're going to have entry points that are differently designated than the past. I'm sure we're going to cover that in social media, but there'll be
There'll be three entry points to the festival, so, you know, that after 4 p.m. we can kind of keep track of the fact that there's juveniles with adults, so they bring parents or guardians with them.
Absolutely, absolutely. We want to make sure it's a safe, wonderful homecoming, and make sure that everybody has a chance to participate. And again, this brings a lot of revenue aspect to the nonprofits that are so needed in the city to do their work. So we do appreciate that, and hopefully this particular item will also, as you indicated, Chief, because it was very forward-thinking, is if people are not allowed in, they're going to congregate to the surrounding areas, and this encompasses those areas too, so that we make sure that that we have not one problem going from one area to another.
Correct, and as always, I thank you for your support.
Of course.
All right.
Mayor, this is regarding the homecoming. We just gave a brief. I know that the security aspects you didn't want to touch too much on now until they're fully fleshed out, but do you want to add anything about this? This is the last meeting before the homecoming.
No, I think as we've been working with the police chief and his command staff around the clock alongside all of our partners, including at every level of government. And so it's all hands on deck. We have a phenomenal festival each and every single year. It's been growing. It's been beautiful. It's been very safe. And we are hoping to keep it that way.
All right. Thank you. Okay, thank you, thank you, Mayor. So any other questions or comments? Okay, Mr. Clerk, can we have the first reading?
Yes, this is the first
Thank you,
reading
Chief.
of ordinance number 26-1871, an ordinance to amend the offenses chapter 14 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dearborn by amending Article 8, Section 14-317, entitled Curfew.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Any other questions or comments? All right, any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
There are no further items on tonight's agenda.
All right. For my colleagues, I'm going to open up with a few things right here, and I'll pass it on to my colleagues. A couple recognitions. We have the Dearborn Fire Department Special Operations team was recognized statewide. I get that right? For the Elite Michigan Mutual Aid Box Alarm System. Oh, I'm sorry. Alarm System Validation. The validation recognized the Dearborn Special Operations team as a technical rescue company with elite level capability. So we already knew that. I'm glad the state followed through. We do appreciate that. This is a great honor for the city of Dearborn and the fire department. So we'd like to thank our fire chief and his team as well. Continue with the fire department. We wanted to also recognize that they were nationally recognized and received an American Heart Association Mission Life EMS Gold Achievement Award for committed to offering rapid and research-based care to people experiencing the most severe from heart attacks and strokes and ultimately saving their lives. I can't thank you enough. I mean, I was unfortunate enough to have a family member go through the process, through the through the fire department, and there's always something to be said about the care of our firemen, and it means a lot, and you don't know it till you need it, and we can't thank them enough for the work. And this recognition just shows our residents, you know, what the quality that we expect and what we're getting, and what they're getting for their tax dollars. So we can't thank you enough for the fire department. Staying on the fire department, just wanted to recognize again, they have a Sally Centini. Did I pronounce that right? Yep. She is a fire analyst of 17 and a half years, and she was a single part-time position employee at the fire department who helped manage over $30 million in grant funding. I remember this. The chief is not here today because I did push for this aspect. We didn't have a grants department in the past before under this administration, and we had a fire chief that had a PhD, and we said, hey, well, why don't you write some of these? And he said, I need a little help. We gave him a little help, and it transpired. So we do appreciate that, recognizing her for her retirement to the city of Dearborn. We have. Good
evening, Council.
Yes, go ahead.
I'd just like to add, congratulate her on her retirement. Add that she started as a finance member.
Oh, that's where she. Oh, okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Kennedy. We appreciate that. It takes a whole team. They did come out of finances, so they got to get credit. I want to recognize a few police retirements. Tremendous 25 years of service, folks. I mean, it's a very challenging job. 25 years. We have Corporal Michael Hayes that is retiring, a Lieutenant Brian Kampanowski retiring this month as well, and Corporal Alfred Grzorek also retiring. So 25 years, being with the community and serving is a tremendous. I wish them the best. I can tell you, when you see these men and women of our city outside when they retire, it's tremendous. I went to a football game. I seen some of our police officers there working security at University of Michigan, and they have a whole another career left in them to serve and give, but at least they won't be getting shot at, hopefully not, in some of those security aspects. But tremendous retirement. We have a lot of people retiring soon. Those also present challenges, but with myself, and those that might have seen my tenureship, with all those challenges comes opportunities. And I look forward to these opportunities and molding some new leadership in the police, but it's going to be hard to fill some of these men. So I wanted to recognize them as well. A couple last things. Dearborn, some of you guys might have heard it on 9:50 in the morning a.m. Those of you that listen to that. That's only for a certain age group, I guess. You got to get up in the morning. That's true. Dearborn was awarded $8.1 million in federal grants for residential flooding through our awards second phase of a FEMA grant mitigation problem. So as everybody understands, we had flooding issues, and we've been doing so many things to try not only calling for studies that actually come through with actual plans, but it always helps when, again, our federal tax dollars come back and help with infrastructure. So tremendous job by the entire administration of going out there and getting $8.1 million. It does help. Every little bit helps. So we're trying to make sure that we did not forget about the flooding, and we've done so much work regarding this. So I want to make sure that we made mention of that. And two last things. Our mayor received the Best Friend of the Rouge Award for his continued organization and commitment to the healthy safety of the Rouge River. That is important. The Rouge River is a really big deal. So great job, Mayor. I did see the photo. I didn't see you wearing a jacket, though. No jacket in the photo.
I just finished the neighborhood walk.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll let it go. The neighborhood walk will go through. Finally, before I open to my colleagues, I just want to remind everybody of the Dearborn Homecoming coming up August 7th, 8th, and 9th. Tremendous time. Have a good time. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of surprises, a lot of good entertainment, and it's always a good time. We do take this seriously here in Dearborn, our communications department. I don't think anybody knows how hard it is to get and secure acts to come and do outdoor events and to make sure you get a good mix of people so we have a good collection. I can't wait to see how it comes through, and wish very, very good luck to all the nonprofit organizations that some of them depend solely on this event. You guys go there, see the fire department selling corn, and the Fortson Alumni Club selling all kind of stuff. So go out and support your community. It's going to be a great time, so hopefully we'll see you all there. That's all. I know that was a lot, but that's what I had. Anything from my colleagues? All right. Anything from Mayor and administration?
We still have the World Cup watch parties happening. The first semi was today. Given everybody is lost, we're now rooting for Spain. If you don't know, I think Spain has now become the home team. So they knocked out France.
They did?
Yeah, today, 2-0. Yeah, absolutely. So, and FIFA obviously rigged the whole thing for Argentina. But that's a whole other thing, competition. We have Music Under the Stars this Thursday. This is the Jazz Under the Stars. So that's this Thursday at 7. Dearborn Summer Market returns Friday at 5. I think the World Cup final is Saturday. And so it's going to be a very busy weekend. Sunday.
Is it, so this Sunday, Mayor? You know, 'cause
Sunday. Yeah,
Yes.
that's it.
All right, because a
it's here.
resident did ask today,
Yeah.
because of 3 p.m., it was still being held, and tomorrow there's one as well.
Yes, tomorrow is Argentina versus England.
Okay.
And so no Argentina flags allowed. We have, on the 23rd, we have Wreck-It Ralph at Peace Park East. That's a movie for children, if you're
Okay.
not aware. It's a great movie, actually, so feel free to come by. We got popcorn and ice cream. We have, my neighborhood walks are continuing across the city. We do suspend them when it gets above 90 degrees, so that it gets really hot. And I'm actually going on to take a tour of the Rouge River Phase 2 of the Trailway. So you
Excellent.
guys see a lot of work is happening.
Yes.
There is a Phase 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so I'm going on Phase 2. A lot of work happening where Devin is in his backyard right now. But super thrilled and excited to see the expansion across our city. And so a lot of work being done and excited for all the events that are happening. So hopefully you guys can come by 1, 2, or all of them. And again, no Argentinian flags at any of the events.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Clerk, anything from your department?
Well, yes, before the next council meeting, we have something called an election, a primary election that's coming
right.
up. That will be on Tuesday, August the 4th. It's a very important election, and we've already sent out 10,000, make that 11,000 absentee or mail-in ballots. We've received about 3,000 of those back already. So we're starting to get a good flow of returned ballots, but there's still 8,000 out there. We expect most of those to be returned before August the 4th. If you're not using the mail-in ballot, of course, you could come to the early voting. That will begin on Saturday, July 25th, and run for 9 straight days through Sunday, August the 2nd, at the Ford Community and Performing Arts Center. That's from 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock every single day. And for the diehards that like to vote on Election Day, we will be open on Election Day. All 31 locations throughout the city from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. By the way, all of those tabulators have been tested. They were tested today. We had a public testing where people could have watched the actual testing of the machines themselves. And we did have people from the Republican Party and Democratic Party show up and watched us go through that. Our city attorney was there, of course, as part of being a part of the Elections Commission, and we passed. So all of the tabulators are working just fine, and they'll be working great on Election Day. We expect about 12 to 15,000 people in total to vote. So it'll be a pretty big Election Day for us here in Dearborn, and we hope everybody comes out. One reminder, it is a split ballot, so they'll have a Democratic side and a Republican side, and you have to stay in your lane, as they say. If you start voting on the Democratic side, you have to stay on the Democratic side. If you start on the Republican side, complete on the Republican side. If you cross-vote, it will spit the ballot back out, and you'll have to do it again if you're voting on Election Day or early voting. If you vote absentee and you didn't do it properly, we will count the areas that you voted correctly, but the area that you cross-voted in will not be counted.
Okay, fair. So how are we doing, Mr. Clerk? So the tabulators is great that they're all working, but are they all going to be used this time? Are we going to put them all in for each precinct, or are you still combining?
Well, we have consolidated the very, 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 very small precincts, but for the most part, they were using a lot more of them than we used the last election.
All right, so more than last time, and then are you picking the precincts based on numbers? Because that was the concern I think we had in the past.
Yes,
All right,
yes.
so it's not
And
going
we've
to be
added
it's
more
not going to be the
people as
biggest
well.
schools are going to have the less tabulators.
Say that again?
So like the larger schools or the larger turnout voting precincts historically will not have less tabulators.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And we, with your suggestion and the council's suggestion, we are adding more people as well in those areas that we only have one tabulator.
All right, excellent. And then also, Mr. Clerk, how are we doing? I know we're paying, I don't want to misquote, $275?
$270 for an election worker, $320.
$270 for the day.
Yep, $320 if you're a co-chair and $350 if you're the chairperson. So
And the council also raised the hourly wage for you as well.
yes, our voting assistants are getting now $20 an hour beginning this week. So we appreciate that. It helps us attract better people, more qualified people.
That are going to show up.
That will show up.
That
yes.
was the concern last time,
For
right?
Yes.
270, you should get your kid off of their fast,
Yeah, you get off the PlayStation
crappy
for
Charger
370.
and Challenger, off of those motorized dirt
That's
bikes,
right.
and put them to work.
All right, so Mr.
Yes.
Clerk, how are we
270.
doing on the people actually sign up? Do you need more people willing to participate for you, or you feel that your numbers are good at this time? Because we want
Yeah,
to try to
we-
get the election done by before midnight, right?
Yes, and we have increased the number of people. In just the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've got 60 more people that joined what we already had. So we've got about 325 people that we've hired already.
Excellent.
We think we're going to hire more backups because we know people call off. So we'd like to hire another 15 or 20.
Excellent. Yeah, and I think that was one of the concerns when we had the meeting with you, is that
Yep.
the normal percentage of call off was substantially higher.
Yes.
And so we do recognize that, and hopefully that we're gonna try to. It's kind of like the airlines, right? They got 300 seats, they sell 400, and then they'll
Right.
leave you outside with the bag. So hopefully we'll be in the right spot on this one.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, Mr. Clerk. Thank you. Now we are in the second portion of the public comment. Just kind reminder, if you had spoken regarding not an agenda item, you only allowed one speaking time per council meeting. So anyone here, I don't have any cards, but anyone here to speak to the council, you may step forward and just state your name and address for the record. Mr. Duggan?
#21 800 Morley Avenue, apartment 1101. That's my name, also known as Dennis Duggan. At one iteration of my life, I was a high school teacher on a faculty, and in that faculty room, there was a library shelf, and one of the most important books I've ever picked up was just I happened to take it off that shelf. So when I retired, I started giving books away. I wanted to clear out my place, so I got rid of a lot of books. Now I have to pay for the books to give away because I haven't, and I like giving books away. So I have something to tell you, though. I sent 9 books to Washington to the Supreme Court. So they're getting a book from me. We'll see if it comes back. But one of the books that I got out of our library, and then I went and bought it, and I read it. It says The End of Bias by Jessica Nolan. It is an exceptionally great book at understanding the notion of bias and unconscious bias, and the fact that it's not really the end of it, but if you really understand it, you have a chance. So I say to my leaders and to the guiding lights of Dearborn, I'd like you to have this book. And if you don't have a shelf for books to share with one another, maybe start it.
Yes.
But let this be the first one, and pass it around and take it. So this is my gift to you.
We appreciate it, Mr. Duggan. I appreciate that. So, Mr. Clerk, if you could take that, we'll have Jackie put it in there. We appreciate it. This is not the first book you've given us, because you've given us one before. So we do appreciate it, and thank you so much for coming forward. We do appreciate that. Any other people here to speak? Mr. Bridger, I'm sorry, yeah, they're only allowed one. I know they only allowed. I know, but Mr. Bridger, I'm sorry, it's the council rules, it's not me, and I know you have a lawyer next to you. I got to follow the rules. I appreciate it, but thank you for coming forward. The rules only allow one speaking per time. I apologize. Anyone else here that hasn't spoken would like to address the council? All right, do I have a motion to entertain a motion to entertain a adjournment? Motion by Councilman Al Swafi. We are adjourned.